Hey guys, it's Milka. Welcome back to my channel, NutAeum. It is lovely to see you here. Hello. Today we're going to be taking a look at what are you currently not seeing. Ooh. Before we begin and I give you guys the group selections, which today we'll be using pins, I'm super excited. I got a bunch of, well, some of these are actually older, but I did get a bunch of new pins that I would like to start incorporating more into the readings too, so I think that could be fun. But yeah, so I hope you guys are good. And before we begin, I did want to do my little shameless self-plug. I can speak. You guys, this is earlier than I normally ever record. So I may be a little like in a loop-de-loop. So hopefully not. Hopefully clarity is key. That's the goal. All right, but before we begin, I wanted to let you guys know that I do personal private readings. Okay, guys? And so if you guys are interested in possibly a personal private reading, I also sell custom crystal bracelets, which are tuned with Reiki and light language, and specifically kind of the crystals are programmed for whatever it is that you're trying to attract or bring more of into your life. And I also do custom affirmation songs. And if you guys are curious what these affirmation songs might look like, I do have a playlist on this channel from my music channel, but it's on this channel called Affirmation Songs. And some of my affirmation songs are on there as well. Okay. And I also, if you guys are interested in any of that stuff, by the way, you can reach out to me either through the contacts page on my website or through my email, which are all listed in the description box below. Also, I do have a song that I somewhat recently put out, not too long ago. It was a channeled song from Divine, and for those of you who are interested, I'm going to play a little snippet here. Don't shrink in the shadows, it'll be alright. Reach your hand out to me, and I'll be your guide. Promise you there'll come a day when you'll live in the light. But for now, just hold on to me. I'll be your guide. And yeah, you guys, that was the song. If you'd like to hear the full version, it is on, well, it is on my Milka 38 channel, but I'll have it linked in the description box below as well. And yeah, you guys, I think this was the quickest intro that I've done to date. I'm sure there's something else I wanted to share with you guys, but I just can't think of it. So we're just going to get right into your group selection, all right? For group number 1, we've got this little, oh, I don't know if you can see in this lighting. Hopefully you can. It's this little elephant, okay? How cute, right? Okay, so that's group number 1. Group number 2 is this hourglass with a whale. I don't know if it's, I really hope that these are focusing, you guys. So that's group number 2. Group number 3 is this heart that says, nope. And again, hold on. Oh, it's not picking up the heart. Hold on. Lighting work. If I like tilt it, there we go. Okay. And group number 4 is this cute little cat at night, and it says still awake. Okay. All right, you guys, those are the groups. I'm going to give you a moment to choose, well, your group. All right. And the timestamps are in the description box below, you guys, as well as any cards that I use throughout the reading. Cool. Hey, group 1, this is your group. If you chose this elephant with the little lotus flower on its cap, I think it's a lotus flower. I can't really tell, but this is, oh, I could have brought it this, like, I could have brought it like this earlier. Well, now I know. Okay, but yes, this is your group if you chose this little elephant. Let's set your elephant to the side. Actually, I got this pin in Florida, funnily enough. Let me ring the singing bowl for you guys really quick. Cool. I got this pin in Florida when I went to like this vegan, I don't know, it's like this place, it was this place in Tampa that has a bunch of, but it's not, is it the Atrium? No, I don't think that's what it's called. I don't know, it's some kind of thing that has a bunch of different food stalls and like boutique things and activities and whatnot, and they had this vegan place, and they gave me a couple of pins, which was really nice because it was my birthday when I went. Anyway, let's get into your reading, you guys. So this is actually kind of funny because while I was shuffling, I noticed the start, I mean, and it actually did fall out. It's the first card here, right? The first card here. Goodness, I can speak. But I noticed the star card in a couple of decks that I shuffled, which I thought was fascinating, because it like made its attention known. And then literally on the bottom of this Lenormand deck as well, you have star. Oh my goodness, I can speak. Okay. So I just thought that was very interesting, you know? So yeah, let's get into your reading. We'll see what you guys aren't seeing, and then we'll figure out more about this star message. Okay, guys, so we've got the star. I'm gonna see how far, because I got a few cards. I think I can lay them all out in this one kind of spread for you. We have the Four of Swords, the Nine of Swords, okay, I was gonna say the Two of Pentacles. This is not the Two of Pentacles. This is the, what's her name? High Priestess. Okay. The Six of Cups. Look, you guys, this is a new deck that I'm super excited about. Look how beautiful it is. It's kind of like the Landscape Tarot, which I couldn't resist adding in. For those of you who are returning viewers, you guys will recognize, I think, the Landscape Tarot. It was also the first one that I did a tarot review of because I loved it so much. But yeah, I'm thinking of doing a review of this deck too. This is the, oh my goodness, what is it called? Hold on one second. The Spacious Tarot, right? Okay. So then we also have the Eight of Pentacles. You guys also, I just want to show you on the bottom of this Spacious Tarot deck, you guys have the Lovers. I mean, look at this Lovers card. Isn't it so cool? Isn't it so beautiful? I think it's so unique. And like, I don't know if you can see all of the colors, like little glittery particles that are drawn on there. But yes, then we've also got Temperance. You guys, I gave a little warning at the intro of the video, but yes, we've got Temperance. Oh my goodness, what the heck? We got the star again. That is so funny. Because when I was shuffling in this deck, I saw the star come up, but obviously it fell out too. Okay, then we've got Tiger with "You're being called upon to provide leadership, so trust that you are capable of doing so." Oh my gosh, that goes so great with all of these star messages. We also have the Peacock. Let yourself stand out and be noticed, you guys. Wow, that is incredible. Then we have Strength, which funnily enough, this was on the top of the deck and I kept shuffling and shuffling and it kept appearing while I was shuffling. And then it also actually ended up falling out. And then we have the 7th house, the 8th house. We have the Bear. Okay, I think I may have to move these like that. The Rider. I know these are smaller, so I'll bring them in a little closer. And we also have Capricorn. The beginning of spring. Okay. You guys can see that, right? You should be able to. And then we have Safety and Dominance. Okay, guys. Give me 1 second to kind of gather the thoughts and see what I'm seeing here. Okay, you guys have a very powerful presence. You know, I think it's kind of funny that you guys chose the elephant, right? Because I just heard the elephant in the room. Yeah. So I think it's funny that you guys chose the elephant because an elephant is large, right? And even though we're getting a little head here, usually I believe, I mean, yeah, I believe elephants are the largest land mammal on the planet. So I think I think this just kind of goes along with your presence, right? Because it's like you guys have a very powerful energy and a very powerful presence. And I feel like a lot of people look up to you guys. And I think that's something that maybe you don't see. I think that you guys are still coming to terms with the fact, like with your personal power. It feels like you guys keep looking for things outside of yourself to validate you when all of the validation that you need is within. You know, I think this is something that you guys are just bound to be working on and healing in this incarnation, to be honest with you, is this like self-worth, or like seeing your true value, seeing who you completely, truly are. Because you guys are meant to shine. You guys are meant to stand up. And I feel like you guys are, or to stand out, sorry. And I feel like you guys are being called to like the podium, right? You're being called to the stand. You're being called to lead. You're being called to speak. You're being called to share, to take on a role model-esque role in people's lives. And I think it's like you guys already do that without realizing it. So now it's like divine wants you to realize, like, hey, now that, like, be conscious of it. You can own that. You don't have to, you know how some people will be like, oh, you know, like when you're giving somebody a compliment, they'll be like, thank you. I don't see it, but, you know, thank you so much. I appreciate that, you know. Or they'll actually just reject it and be like, no, that's silly. No, that's not actually whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like you guys you guys are coming out of that. But it also seems like this is really what the universe is trying to get your attention on. It's like, you are larger than life. You are an influencer. You are somebody that people can look up to and do look up to. People literally follow your example constantly. That's why I mentioned, like, you guys are an influencer. Like, literally, like, just how people would follow what a celebrity does, you know, like, they'll be like, oh, a celebrity wore this, and so a lot more people would be buying that kind of stuff. I feel like you guys just naturally have that kind of quality as well. It's not that you're trying to sell people on things. It's just, you just so happen to be an influencer. Like, people are going to see you doing something and they're going to think it's cool, or people are going to see you having something and they're going to think it's cool, you know. Like, if anybody else had it or did it, they may have experienced judgment, but with you guys, it somehow works. You guys have this power, this effect on people. Okay. What else am I getting here? I mean, even if you look at this like giant, like these cups, right, for the 6 of Cups, it's like this one cup is so large and it has the plant, this large plant, and then all these other little cups. I don't know if you can see this actually. Let me bring it closer. But yeah, all the other little cups have a tiny little plant, you know, as if this is the mama plant that's seeded, or like these are the little flowers, and like this is like the nurture, you know, this is the person pouring into all of these cups. This is the sage guiding all of these little flowers on how they can grow so that they can one day fill up a cup as big as this. So I'm also hearing it's time for you guys to get to work, you know, like, it's time for you guys to get to work. It's time for you to just stop avoiding the things that you know are good for you or that you should be doing. You guys, this is not me, okay? I don't speak like this, but I just heard there's no excuse, you know? Like, there's no excuse. You guys are out of that chapter where you're playing small. So there genuinely is no excuse. You can't be playing small anymore. It's literally like you guys have transitioned out of that place and you're trying to keep living, like you're trying to keep moving forward with the memories of your past, like with an echo of your past. It's like it's no longer part of your life, but there's an echo of it still. And it's like, it's almost as if you guys kind of forgot or you just kind of got sucked in a little bit, but it's time to get to work. That's it. You guys are not, sorry, there's something on the phone, on the camera. You guys are not meant to just be idle and sitting by. Like, the universe is like, we showed you so many times how powerful you are, how influential you are, how great your presence is. Why do you think your presence is so great? Why do you think you're so influential? Just so you can teach, like you can show people in your school or in your direct work environment how to live life. It's like, no, you get this quality wherever you go. You're meant to give, I don't want to say, okay, I'm going to say how it's coming through, but it's like there maybe there's some tweaking involved, but you're meant to like give back, give to the world, right? And it's not like you have to give back like you owe something. It's just like, this is something that deep down inside, a part of you, like your inner child, has desired, but you guys have turned, like you guys have associated fear with this kind of recognition, you know, because maybe you're afraid of being a disappointment at some point or not meeting those expectations and then being a disappointment, and it can lead into, I don't know, feeling like if people are disappointed in you, then they're going to leave you. Like, it could be some kind of trigger from childhood, you know, like maybe an abandonment wound. So you're afraid of making yourself known so that if people start coming by you, you know, they're not going to leave, right? So instead of having people possibly leave, you're not letting these people come by in general, right? But that's it. You guys are done playing small. It's like God is saying no more playing small. You guys are done with that, okay? It's almost like even with this elephant, right? They have this hat and it does have a flower on it, but the first time I saw it, I didn't really see the flower. I only saw the flower when I mentioned it to you guys. To me, it kind of made me think of like military a little bit. It made me think of the military, but not like a higher ranking person in the military, just like a regular foot soldier or something like that, you know? And this is going to sound so bad, right? Because they do a lot of very difficult, but it's kind of like, I think to some level, right? To some higher ups, they can be considered more disposable because they don't have such a rank, right? It's like an everyman, like somebody that's just like, we've got a bunch of these, you know? And it's like you guys are hiding or disguising yourself with this hat, and it's like, you are not that. Which, again, there's no shame in that, by the way. Like, you know, not at all. It's a very difficult kind of a thing to do, whatever. It was just an example. But it's like, you guys are not a dime a dozen. You're not just replaceable easily, okay? You guys are meant to impact a certain amount of people. And whether it is, you know, what you're supposed to do to give that kind of light to the world, right? it's okay. You don't have to know, because it feels like you guys are divinely guided. You just kind of have to surrender to it. All right, you guys, that's the whole reason that you had this huge transition and shift in your life in the first place, is because you guys are working on that surrender, right? So keep working at it. What you're experiencing now is just an echo of the past. It's not true, okay? You guys have moved past it. It's just an insecurity, okay? And it's like time. And again, I don't mean to be like, I feel like with you guys, it's almost like God is trying to give a bit of a reality check, because normally I don't speak this like, I don't want to say frankly, but like, it feels a little harsh, you know, and I don't mean for it to come across as harsh, but it kind of feels like God is pouring cold water on you, like, hello, wake up, come on now, you know. It's like, stop playing small. How many times do we have to go through this? And it's like, it's okay if you feel that way, right? Because we're entitled to feel how we feel. But just because you guys feel that way, right? Because you're worried about getting unwarranted attention. You're worried about possibly becoming, you know, an object of jealousy or something along those lines too, you know, and like getting unwanted kinds of attention, right? Or undesirable types of attention. Just know that you guys literally were born and came into this world to shine. Okay, you literally came here to shine. I mean, it says here, you are being called upon to provide leadership, so trust that you're capable of doing so. I mean, it was literally in the cards. I kind of started getting that with all the star cards coming through. It's like, wow, what a person. Like, you guys are so inspirational, you know? And then with the peacock, I mean, come on, a peacock, literally, even if you don't read the message which says, let yourself stand out and be noticed, a peacock flaunts itself. Like, again, we talk about peacock, but this is really about male peacocks, right? Because they're the ones with all the colorful feathers. But still, it's kind of like, if your inner feminine nature is okay with just staying in this closed bubble, you guys have been working on developing this balance within yourself with the feminine and masculine energy within you, okay? And it's like, let that masculine energy kind of amp up a little bit and take you out, be a drive for you guys, okay? Like, and when I say take you out, I mean like take you out of the house, take you out of the shell, take you out of this little comfort zone. And again, it's like God has got your back, divine has your back. You guys are very supported. Okay, you're very supported, and you guys are really good at focusing on gratitude, and you guys have this incredible way about you, and you have only grown and developed more so. That's why they're saying, like, that's it, this is kind of getting old, you know? And again, it's okay to feel a certain way, right? It's okay to feel insecure. It's okay to feel like maybe you're not good enough every once in a while. Like, those things happen, right? It's human. It's human to have these thoughts. But it's not like they're telling you stop feeling, you know, stop feeling a certain way, right? It's not that. It's more like, stop letting these doubts, fears, and insecurities get in the way of you guys becoming your utmost fullest potential. Stop letting it get in the way of your dreams, of your wants, of your desires, of the things that we are trying to give to you on a silver platter, on a gold platter even, you know? And the fact that you guys have the seventh house here, even this kind of makes me think of like, and the seventh and eighth house both, it's like this influence over the masses. It's like you guys are good at guiding people, at giving advice to people, right? And there seems to, like, with this eighth house, it's like there seems to be an air about you that makes people listen, that makes people want to hear more. And yeah, let me see what else I'm getting here too. Yeah, even with this, right? You guys have literally Capricorn. Capricorn is it's the 10th house in astrology. The 10th house is the highest point of our natal chart. That's where we have our career and our Like how people, it's not how people view us like the ascendant, right? It's another level of how people can view us, how people view us from a distance, how people see us in work. Okay, our work, it's work related too, but it's kind of like purpose as well on some level, right? If you turn it a little bit spiritual. And we also have, so with the bear and the rider, I feel like you guys have already started heading towards this direction. Even the beginning of spring, right? It's like a new beginning. So we mentioned that before, right? I'm wondering if you guys watched my last video, the healing focus, because there was also a group, I think, that was saying like, you guys are not approaching your new beginning, right? When people are saying you guys are in a new beginning, it's like they're actually saying you're getting close to the new beginning, but you're not actually in it most of the time. But you guys are actually in it. You guys are actually in this new beginning. So they're saying like, you're going to get echoes of your past in this new beginning, but that's all that they are, is echoes. Okay. You guys are doing good. Keep moving forward. Keep going. 'Cause look, even this bear has a crown on its head, you know? And then safety and dominance. Yes. Okay. And you guys being afraid of the kind of energies that might come through, that might, you know, that you might, get their attention, right? Because you start to shine, because you start to come out more of your shell and all of this stuff, and you stand in your power. So you become more powerful and emit even more energy and power, like a lighthouse or a star, right? Just know that you guys are safe. And any kind of thing that you encounter that makes you feel afraid or like you need to be on defense and all of this stuff, yes, you're going to encounter those things, okay? But that's part of life. And that's part of this task. And it's like the universe is not going to just let you be like out in the cold. It may feel like that sometimes, but you're not actually out in the cold. It's just like if you were being taught how to ride a bicycle and somebody was holding the back for you, how are you going to know that you can actually ride the bicycle unless they let go and you do it on your own? Right? Otherwise, is it their support that's doing this, or is it you guys? So they're trying to say it's you guys. You guys are doing this. We're here supporting you, but you are powerful enough. That's why dominance is here too. Okay? It's like you guys are safe. You don't have to worry about this. And as you're working through cultivating this inner security and like realizing that none of these things can actually get to you, any of these things that you are worried about, their unwarranted attention or whatever it is, it's actually just training so that you can make your energy even stronger. You can make your presence even stronger, your protection even stronger, right? With this dominance card. It's like you make your response stronger so they can't get to you. But how it's like I recently said this to somebody, right? But if you get an equation, a math equation, or like a science equation or whatever, right? A mathematical equation, whatever it may be, and it's very complicated and it was shown to you, most people are not going to be able to use that equation right away, you know? Like they're not going to be able to plug it in examples right away. They're not going to remember it unless they're looking at the notes. You know what I mean? It's like if somebody shows you an equation and then they're like, write it all down. Like they talk to you for a little bit to distract you and then they say, right, now write it, you know? It's like, unless you've got a photographic memory, or you're just extremely skilled in math, you're most likely not going to remember it. And you're probably going to make mistakes. And then your teacher would correct you. And then you're going to try again. And then you'd still make a mistake. But it would, instead of it being 3, it'll now be 2. And then again, repeat that. And then it's only 1. And then again, and then you've mastered it. Okay? It's the same thing with this. It's going to feel scary. It's going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to be worried about other people's attention and what kind of energy they could be directing towards you. But you're cultivating your energy. That's what got you to this new beginning in the first place, okay? And you're going to get to a point where it's no longer affecting you, just like anything else. All right, you guys? Okay, group 1. Let me also get some... Ooh, sorry about the dog. I don't know if you guys heard the dog, but there's a dog barking. Let me also see if I'm getting anything else. I'm also going to roll the dice for you, my friends. Give me 1 second. Yeah, because you see, it's like you guys have done the healing. You guys have done the work. God is trying to answer your prayers. God is trying to make your dreams come true. But you guys are stressing over something in the past, okay? You guys, it's like, again, this is just how I'm hearing it, which is so interesting because they're a little bit like more harsher with you guys, but it's like you guys know better by now. You know, it's like you guys have seen this so many times in other people and with yourself before. You've got this. No more excuses, okay? You've got this. All right, let's see. Final messages. Okay, we've got midheaven. Oh my goodness, yeah, midheaven. That's exactly what I was mentioning, right? The midheaven is actually the highest point in the astrology chart. So the 10th house is the highest point, like house-wise and stuff, but the midheaven is an aspect, or I guess just for lack of a better word, the aspect in our charts. Well, and it's basically one of the highest points in our chart. And this goes exactly with what I was mentioning with Capricorn, because when I was talking about the Capricorn energy here, what I was really talking about was the midheaven. But because the Capricorn energy was reminding me of the midheaven, so I think it's interesting that it came up. Then we have opposition 14, which is temperance, double temperance here. We've got Mars, Mercury, Pallas, whatever it is. And I completely haven't, I forgot that I haven't used these cards in like a long time, so I forgot what this one is. Cards, dice. You guys, I made give me 1 sec. I'm looking at my little cheat sheet. I made these dice, like I didn't make them myself, like I didn't carve them, but I designed them. And I decided to add like certain, whatever, long story short, okay, Cronus. I thought it was Cronus. Okay, Cronus. Yes, and Cronus is authority figures, regulation, okay? But don't think about a regulation part, but it's authority figure, okay? Cronus was literally a king, right? In mythology, Cronus was the king of Titans, right? So, and he was whatever. The mythology is not important here. The whole point is that this is another leadership position, another thing of authority. Another thing, that's why I was saying, like with the 8th house, the 7th house is what's giving me the idea that people, you just naturally work really good with people, but you've been doing it on a smaller scale and people kind of look up to you. But the 8th house is also giving that whole, like, people look up to you. There's some kind of magnetic energy around you that makes people want to follow you, that makes people have faith in you. It's that authority figure, okay? And then you have, so Scorpio and Capricorn, that combination together. Also, you could do Leo and Capricorn too. That could be also one of those dynamics as well. With the leadership kind of thing that we're talking about. But I think it's interesting that it is Scorpio, right? Because it's adding that water element of intuition, like a deep knowing and understanding kind of a thing. So with temperance, again, this is just about balance, you guys. Okay? It's like balance. It's like coming into, it's gentle. It's like saying coming back into balance, calm yourself, ground yourself, and then you can realize like, oh, actually, I've already worked through this. It's okay. I'm not in this place anymore, you know? And the oppositions are always going to be happening. But this opposition is actually making me think of this card, actually, of the 6 of, sorry guys, 1 second. The 6 of Cups, right? Where it's, or like when we were talking about being called to the podium or the stadium or whatever, right? That's what the opposition is making me think of. It's like you guys standing on the stage, looking at everybody else, looking at the 7th house, okay? That's what the opposition is giving me. It's like you're not, like even here, right? Like they were saying you're not a dime. And I'm not saying people are a dime a dozen. Everyone has something to add and all this stuff. And everyone's got an incredible purpose and mission, whatever that may be in their life. Even if it is kind of on a smaller scale, you know, it doesn't matter because all is important. But, you know, disclaimers aside, it's like you guys are not meant to be playing small. You are not meant to be just part of the masses. You are not meant to be it's like you guys are walking in the crowd when you're supposed to be leading it, you know? And it's like you guys are walking at the front of the crowd. Maybe you've gotten to the point where now you're walking at the front of the crowd, but you're still not leading it. It's like, no, take a couple steps further out. You're leading it. So that's the opposition. That's what I'm getting with the opposition here. It's just you guys are facing the audience. You're not in the audience, okay? With Mercury and Mars, again, Mars, remember I was mentioning like letting that divine masculine energy kind of like drive you a little bit more if your feminine energy is more comfortable in like a cozier setting. Like it's okay to take turns between which energy you're living in. And it's kind of like they're saying like rev it up a little, rev up the masculine energy within you, okay? Also, I feel like you guys are, again, it's like there's this emphasis of you guys being great at giving advice. Like people look to you, people turn to you. You guys are very knowledgeable, you're very wise, and I feel like you guys are even channels, you know? That's why God is pushing you guys so much, because it's like, you are a channel of divine. Go out into the world and spread this message of light, you know, whatever the message is going to be. Even if it's just something like health, you know, that is still considered a message of light, because you're helping people see like what is about their health, right? You're helping people to see that they can take control of their life if they take control of their health, that they can be empowered if they take control of their health, that their health is part of it is their life, you know? So it's like any aspect that this can be playing in. It doesn't have to be doing seminars on life coaching, though that could be it for some of you guys too. You know what I mean? Or it could be like if you guys want to be a musician or an actor, it's like somebody with influence. You guys could be doing that too, right? Or, I mean, you could even be doing like seminars on leading business, you know, like creating a business. All this is basically, there's still an aspect, regardless of what it is, or even a seminar on how to make pottery. You know what I mean? I always mention pottery in my readings. That is so funny. Maybe I should take a pottery class, because I'm always talking about pottery classes. But yeah, it's like, you see, even here, you've got the Three of Pentacles. It's like this person is standing on a stool thinking that, you know, it's like this person is acting as if they are three of the same kind of people. But it's like clearly they're the one who has a more passionate vision. They're the one who is standing on this podium or little stepping thing. They're elevated here, okay? And like these other people, they're together. They are the crowd. And they're looking up at this person who is opposite them. So you guys have got a message to share with the world, whatever it is, you know, whatever it may be. It literally doesn't matter what the topic is, because it seems like regardless of what the topic is, you guys have this energy and this influence. And instead of it being you talking about like the people in this community within your radius, which are like maybe 3 or 4 people, it now becomes like a larger portion of these people, you know, that are interested in this kind of thing. Okay, that was your reading, group 1. And hopefully it wasn't too harsh for you guys. You know, I always try to deliver a message a little more gentle-like. But it seems like they really wanted to kind of, I don't want to say shock you, but kind of like wake up, like an instant wake up, you know, like a loud clap, not okay, I'm waking you gently from your slumber. It's like, no, come on, get it together. Like, this is not you anymore. This is your past. And it's okay that you're experiencing this, but we're just reminding you, we're kind of showing you like to get out of that, you know, because this is not you anymore. It's not serving you guys. But yeah, group 1, that was your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate if you guys gave this video a thumbs up. I'd also love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. You know, maybe if you guys are open to sharing what this thing is for you guys, you know, like, is it a business? Is it like what the field is, right? Is it pottery for you? Is it music? Is it being an actor? Is it life coaching? Is it health? You know, Is it mechanics? I don't know. What I would love to know from you guys, like, what is this thing? Okay. Also, if you guys are interested, I do personal private readings, okay, as well as custom crystal bracelets and custom affirmation songs. So if you guys are interested, you can reach out to me either through the contacts page on my website or through my email, all in the description box below. I'm also trying to be more active on Instagram. There are some days when I take off because, you know, life, but I would appreciate if I could see you guys there too. Okay, my Instagram is just NutAeum, just that's the handle. And yeah, also, if you guys are interested in being kept up to date when I post new videos and all of this stuff, it would be cool if you would subscribe to the channel and support it in that way as well. But yeah, that's it from me for today, Group 1, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm sending you guys lots of love, lots of light, and I hope that you guys have so many more blessings in your life than you expect, and that now that you're going to start walking in your light and in your power again, okay, I'm hoping that it brings you more gifts and blessings even more quickly than you would have ever expected and thought, and that you guys are rewarded for doing this mission and purpose of yours, which is really just following your joy, to be completely honest with you. Just once you heal the ego and drop that a little bit, right? I hope that it brings you at least tenfold more happiness than what you guys have ever expected or experienced. All right, you guys. All right, Group 1, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, Group 2, this is your group. If you chose this little hourglass pendant, let me actually, can you see that? With the little whale and the mountains and the moon. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, now that while I was shuffling your cards, I kind of got a little sleepy, so I think that's interesting. Let me ring the singing bowl. I'm gonna set your pin aside and we're gonna get right into your cards. Okay, you guys? Give me 1 sec. Interesting. Even when I rang the singing bowl, I ended up doing it really gently, so it wasn't too loud. And the fact that I'm feeling sleepy, you guys also chose the moon. I feel like you guys are my serene group, my calm group, my calming group. I'm not saying you guys are always calm, but I feel like something about you guys is soothing. Yeah, you know, we'll get into it. We'll get into it once we look at your cards. Oh, interesting. I say interesting because I don't know. I don't know. Well, okay, let's get into it. Let's just get into your cards first. We've got strength. So let's see what you guys aren't seeing. So we have strength. The moon. The 6 of Swords. The Emperor, the Tower. Also, this is a new deck. I'm thinking of doing a deck review for this one too. It's called the Spacious Tarot. And y'all, I don't know what it is, but I got a thing for landscapes apparently, and like decks without like people in them. I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy the people, but I've noticed that I've kind of started, I'm like, ooh, a deck that has no people, that it's just backgrounds. So then we have the Explorer of Cups, which is the Knight of Cups. Okay. Then we have Temperance. That's funny. That came out with the last group. And we have the 6 of Swords again. And it's funny too, because this 6 of Swords actually has an hourglass. Wow, you guys chose the hourglass. How funny is that? That's so interesting. Okay. Then we have the Kiwi with do a walking meditation each day for the next week. Oh, can you guys see that? I want to make sure that you are able to see all of the cards well. Okay. You can see the whole thing, right? That's the bottom. Okay, cool. Sorry, you guys. I'm just checking. We have the Spider with trust the creative spark you're feeling and express it through writing stories that inspire and enlighten. We also have the Star. Oh my goodness. Literally, that's so funny because literally the last group got so many star cards. We have the third house. Oh, Mercury, Gemini influence. We have Juno. We also have the Book. Oh yeah, something that I got while I was shuffling. You know, I'll tell you after I pull out all your cards. Okay, we've got the Stork, Capricorn, Sagittarius. Oh, Capricorn again with Evolve. Triangulum with Feminine. And Octans with Reflect. Can you see this? Yes. Okay. All right, you guys. The thing that came through while I was shuffling, I felt like you guys were extremely perceptive too. Like, you guys are very in tune with your inner guidance. And you're very perceptive. You're really good at reading people or understanding people's motives behind things. It's like you guys can analyze things like a psychologist almost. Yeah, like you can, or not as what are those detective people? You know, they're like, maybe they're just detectives, but like those detective people that specifically can profile people just by looking at them, you know, kind of like that. Sorry, you guys, I don't know what they're called. Maybe they're just detectives. I don't know. If you guys know, maybe if you watch like what I was going to say CVS, not CVS, that's a pharmacy. If you guys watch CSI or some kind of detective-y things and you just so happen to know what those are called, please let me know in the comments. Okay, what you guys are not seeing. Give me 1 second. Wow, it is so funny because it's like the moment I said that, I got tired again. Like I just got so tired. You guys need rest, okay? I think there needs to be some kind of a balance here for you guys because it's like, hold on, it's a little, give me 1 second. Okay, you guys need rest, you need sleep. With this Emperor card, I feel like you guys put in a lot of work or effort or energy into whatever it is that you guys do, you know, for a living or for money. And I feel like for some of you guys, it's like you could be cultivating your efforts and energy elsewhere. And I feel like you guys are getting close to that too. There seems to be some kind, even with this feminine energy, it's like there needs to be some self-nurturing going on for you guys, okay? Some like taking care of yourself a little bit more. So if that means putting a break in your routine or trying to squeeze some kind of self-care in a little bit more, not just when you get sick, right? Or if it literally just means that you've got to take some time off and go sleep or rest or do nothing, okay? Then I think that's what you guys should be doing because you guys, I don't know, it's so, I don't know why, but I feel like completely at a loss for words when it comes to you guys. I think you guys have a strong presence too. I think maybe because we were mentioning the calming presence, right? There's like this quiet, this stillness, and like you guys are good at profiling people, which means that you guys have got to be an observer, right? So I think maybe because like people perceive you as more quiet or to yourself in certain environments, and yeah, that's the kind of energy that I'm sorry, you guys. I like everything in my mind just kind of feels a little jumbled for some reason during your reading. I feel like you guys are very protected too. We're gonna talk more about other stuff that I mentioned. I'm kind of shifting the focus to kind of get back into the flow a little bit. But yeah, I feel like you guys are very protected, and I kind of feel like your mother's energy and presence is very strong in your life, whether you guys are interacting with each other constantly or not, whether you guys live with each other or not. I feel like your mother is constantly looking out for you. She cares about you a lot. Maybe for a couple of you guys, it could be a little too much, you know. Not too much. It's not that it's that she cares too much, but it can be a little overprotective at times. You know, it's kind of like, okay, mom, calm down. All's good. I've got to live my life. I have to be able to experience things, you know. So, and it's not necessarily that maybe she tries to like, and the thing is, I'm getting like, she's reasonable. You know what I mean? She just, I don't know. There's this kind of like I don't want to say panic, but like I just want to make sure you're okay kind of energy when it comes to you. Because you care, maybe you guys have just been through a lot. You guys have gone through a lot together and have experienced a lot. So I am feeling this I was going to say grandmother, this maternal figure present here. Okay. So it could be a mother, a grandmother, or, you know, a feminine energy of whoever it was that was taking care of you. But to be completely honest, for the majority of you, it's not just a feminine energy. It kind of feels like it genuinely was like a female. But again, like this is a general reading, so it could be for a very small minority of you guys. It could be a father figure that had more feminine energy or had to take on a more maternal role. Yeah, so I feel like they're actually watching, like they're guiding you, they're protecting you, and they're always watching over you, okay? Like energetically, it's like they can kind of sense what's going on in your life, and they care about you a lot. Okay, let's see what else I can get here. Okay. You guys, your reading is going to be a bit weird. It's going to be a bit different, okay? And I'm sorry about that, but this is clearly the stuff that's coming through, and it's I'm trying to like navigate, I think, with your energy as well, because it's not confusing. That's not it. I just think, I don't know. I think it's strong in the way that it can affect, you know, at least it's strong in the way that I'm like picking it up, that it's kind of mellowing out everything. It feels very grounding, you know, but because it's very, and when I say by grounding, I just mean like there's an earthy quality to it, you know, almost like there could be an influence of Virgo or Taurus. I mean, we do have Capricorn coming up twice here, you know, and I'm not saying that's your sign. I'm just saying like there could be some, like maybe Saturn is more present in your chart, or one of those houses like the 6th house, the 10th house, or the second house could be more more full or have more stuff going on in your chart. There just seems to be this grounding earthy energy that kind of, I don't know, it's a little hard to read. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Okay, but yes, what I was going to say before I just completely, again, it's like my mind keeps being clear. That's what it feels like almost as if, because the whole concept is like, what are you guys not seeing, right? But I feel like I'm being given some kind of insight, and then it's also like at the same time it's not that there's something covering. It's very hard to explain. I'm sorry, you guys. But yeah, so one of the things that I just got, I heard the word soulmate. So I feel like some of you guys could be encountering somebody, whether you've already encountered them or not, because it seems like this person, maybe you guys don't necessarily talk right away. Okay, like maybe they came into your life a while ago, but you guys are only starting to communicate now, or you will be starting to communicate soon. It seems like one of the things that, oh, look at that ding of confirmation. I feel like I'm not supposed to say too much about this, to be completely honest with you, just to protect the outcome. But it feels like there's somebody that you guys are encountering that is kind of a soulmate connection. It could be very healing, and I think it could be very nurturing. And you are going to feel very comfortable around this person. Okay, so if you are confused and you're trying, I think because maybe that's why they're also telling me not to talk too much about it with that little ding, so that you guys don't start overthinking it and thinking like any person that you encounter, anybody in your life could be this soulmate that we're talking about. Don't dwell on it too much, okay? This person is going to reveal themselves to you. I just think it's going to kind of click. And one of the key factors is you're going to feel comfortable. So don't try to make somebody fit into this description, okay, you guys? You're just going to feel comfortable. And I think it's going to be unique and different from what you guys have ever experienced, because maybe the type of attraction that you feel towards them is purely energetic, because I don't think that they would necessarily be considered your regular type, to be completely honest with you. That being said, it's not like you're gonna think they're completely repulsive or anything like that. That's not it. I just think that maybe like the things that they're interested in, or the things that they do, or the way that they act, they're not really your type, you know, but somehow you kind of accept them anyway. It's like, say for example, if you have a little bit more of a rigid structure, right? It's like a little, it can sometimes be a little unforgiving how much of a structure that you go by, or a schedule that you're going by, right? And that's why we were talking about working in some kind of a break or rest, or there needs to be some kind of, okay, again, it's like they're blocking me from talking about it. I don't know why, but we'll get into it maybe later. We'll see if anything gets revealed more. But, oh my, well, oh yes, they're not. I was like, what was I just saying? Yeah, I feel like it could be a little hard to read for you guys, to be completely honest with you. I'm going to come back to my point with this person, but I think that maybe even when other people are trying to give you like readings, or like maybe if you went to an actual reader in person, it's like some of the facts, like, or not facts, but some of the things that they're saying, you're just like, you're like 50-50, you know? Even if somebody was like, oh yeah, this person is extremely accurate, for you guys, it's kind of 50-50, you know? I think you're one of those people that could be a little harder to read. Like, people can get kind of insights, and maybe even actually in person, like when people are looking at you, it could be a little hard to read you. There's a bit of an aspect of mystery around you guys. But yes, back to this person. So like, say for example, you guys have this structure, right? Like the schedule. Well, this person seems more carefree and maybe a little bit more chaotic, and like, if you guys are more, I'm using a personal example here, but like, say for example, if you guys, like most people, are on time, right? But then this person is usually not on time, or there's some kind of aspect of like, you know, you've got structure and schedule, and it's structure, right? And this person seems like they do not to the level that you have, you know, like even maybe the interests could be different. But there's still this draw, there's still this comfort level. And that's why I was saying, like, they may be different from your type, because even though this is not somebody that you would normally go for, right? Because maybe you'd be like, I don't have tolerance for somebody who can't do something like this. You know, this should be a basic thing that all people do. You know, which would be the ego talking, but that's okay, you know. I feel like something about this person, right? It's like you guys, again, tolerate is kind of a weird word to use, but it's like you guys tolerate that within each other. Or like, if something would not be okay in anybody else, with this person, it's okay. You know, and I'm not talking about toxic traits, by the way. I'm not saying like cheating and whatever. I just mean like little things that you would have been nitpicky about, or that you're just like, no, I'm good, you know, or I'm not really into that kind of thing, or I don't find that attractive, or like a trait, you know, or, you know, that's kind of gross, or like even with this person, it's like, it's not, you're just like, it's human, it's okay. You know, it's like the judgment is kind of gone for this person. There's this peace. So I think both of you guys can feel safe around each other, and that's one of the ways that you'll be able to know. So I don't think you're going to expect this kind of a thing, so don't dwell on it, don't think about it too much, okay, you guys? And yeah, even with this Knight of Cups, it's like there's this aspect of romance, or I don't want to, even romance kind of feels, it feels like the beginning. It's like something flourishing with the emotions, like the heart fluttering kind of a thing, you know? So to fully say romance, I mean, it could be, I feel like maybe you guys could be, I'm going to say closeted romantics, only because, again, like I think the first impression that people get of you is not, this person is romantic. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, people may have a hard time reading you, but so that for that reason, I'm going to say more like closeted romantics, you know, like there is this passion behind you guys, but there's also this kind of a wall, to be completely honest. There is a little bit of a wall, though I think that wall is coming down. I think that's part of the reason why somebody like this could be coming into your life too. The potential, all of this stuff, you know, that's not what this reading is about. I think this is just to give you clarity, since we can't really talk about too many other things for whatever reason. Maybe we'll see if we can, but some things are just, they're not letting me talk about it. I don't know why. I'm sorry, you guys. Hopefully whatever it is that you do get from this reading is enough, though. But yeah, so it kind of feels as though maybe there were some things that, like, you know how some connections, when you come together, it's like you're meant to really help change each other's lives, regardless of what the outcome can be, whether it's to stay together forever, or if it's just for a couple of months, or if it never gets past just the talking phase. But some connections are just meant to help shake things up for you and change your life, or get you set on the right direction, or to heal. And I feel like that's why this person is also coming into your life. The future with them, not entirely clear, okay? And I think that's actually a good thing, and it's for the best. And I think it's for the best for both of you guys, because the whole point is, when you encounter this person, you're not necessarily going to care about what it could be long term. I think it's just, even if you think about that stuff after, when you guys are not around each other, but when you are around each other, it just seems like there's going to be a natural draw, you know? I said I wasn't going to talk about this person, but here I am talking more about it, because apparently this is the only thing they're giving me clarity about. But yeah, so I feel like this person is supposed to, like, you guys are going to help heal each other. And the reason you guys are so different is because you're going to help to kind of touch or bring light or love to the areas of each other that are less nurtured. Or like, say for example, because we're talking about you guys needing to incorporate a little bit more of that feminine energy, that gentleness and caringness towards self, right? Well, this person, and again, you can, since now we're talking about two people, you can kind of reverse whichever one is you, right? Has a more feminine energy, right? Very, very, very strong feminine energy. And then we've got, which I'm assuming is you guys, but again, depending on who's watching, could also be cross-watching, all this stuff, more masculine, okay? Because you literally have the Emperor. It's really a lot more masculine, okay? So it's like something about you guys coming together. It's not just about being a good balance for each other. I think it's to help also bring that balance within each other as well. So it's not like you're just meant to be complementary. It's like, okay, you know, like the yin yang symbol, right? How it has like the white and the black, and each has a little circle of the other within themselves. Well, I feel like you guys are more like just white and they're more like black. And you guys coming together are going to really be cultivating that little circle of like the white is going to get the little black circle and the black is going to get the little white circle. You know, you guys still stay in the energies that you feel comfortable with, because that's just how you like to naturally express yourself, like in this life. But you now have that other aspect as well, you know? And it's not like you guys didn't necessarily have it. It's just it wasn't cultivated. It wasn't healed. So I feel like you guys are healing those aspects in each other. I hope that makes sense. I keep crossing my hands too. Like, I don't know why in this reading I keep crossing my hands. And it kind of makes me think of like a hand. What is it? It's not hand. Is it a hand fasting? That can't be it. Fast. I don't think that's the proper term. But you know, it's like, is it a Celtic wedding? Wow, I don't have answers. But it's like, I think it's hand fasting actually, where like the two hands would be tied with a string, you know, and that would be the way that you guys could make a vow to each other. So it's interesting because I feel like this is talking about, because remember we mentioned this is like a soulmate. So we have multiple soulmates in this incarnation, you know, the degree or level the soulmate can be, it depends on who you guys are, because this is a general reading. But I feel like you guys made a vow, you know, because I keep feeling like I need to do this, right? It's like there was a vow, like your souls made a vow to encounter each other. But yeah. So I think for those of you guys who may have encountered somebody and you wanted clarity, but you weren't sure, I guess this is the information for that. As far as like any other aspect of your life, it's like they're not giving, it's like I'm seeing things, but they're not letting me talk. Like it's like I start to want to say something and it's completely gone. I mean, look, we do have a change of direction here. You literally have a stork. This is talking about you guys in general. We already mentioned this with the, you know, how perceptive you guys can be and all of this stuff. I feel like you guys are also very knowledgeable too, by the way, like book smart. Or like, you know, like tips or facts, you know, like I think book smart is okay to say, actually. Yeah. With Sagittarius, this is talking about, I think there's like this excitement to move forward, not just with this person. I think in your life there is a little bit of a fiery nature to you guys too. I mean, even the Emperor actually is a fire energy. This is Aries, but for me personally, whenever I see the Emperor, I think of it as not just Aries. It feels more like a mix of Aries and Capricorn to me. Yeah. But I feel like there's something about you guys and like your life's, I mean, life's purpose could be a strong word, but like the direction of your life, the direction that you guys are going, you know? I feel like there's something there that I wanted to touch on, but I'm guessing is something that you guys are just meant to figure out. I think it's like maybe they're saying we want you to think about where you're going in life. What do you want from life? What direction? Don't think about it practically, okay? Don't think about rational aspects of it or how you can practically apply things. Not yet. For now, they want you to think about just the direction. What exactly do you want? What do you want in life? What is the direction that you want to go in? And are you doing things that are allowing you to go there? Or have you gotten, a little too comfortable? Oh my goodness, speaking of that masculine energy in Aries, Mars, this die just flipped to Mars, so it fell out of my hand. So again, and you know what? Mars has this arrow pointing just like Sagittarius does, right? So again, it's like direction. And both arrows point up in the corner, right? The upper corner. So it's like keep moving forward, right? Progress. But again, it's like there is drive in you. There is drive. You have a strong, like, there is a fiery energy to you, right? But there's also like a slight groundedness. So maybe it is because this is like the Emperor, how I was saying. It gives off like Aries and Capricorn vibes. So it's like fire and earth sign. But yeah, it seems like, I don't know. Are you guys sticking? Are you staying? I don't know. There's some confusion. I just feel like they want you to evaluate that, right? Are you moving forward? Are you, I don't think you guys are playing small, but it's like, are you guys tolerating? I don't know. It's like, it's very unclear. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm really trying my best, but for whatever reason, maybe if you pick another group too, like, it's just, it's not coming through too much. Once it comes to talking about your personal life, it's like, I guess they want you to navigate it on your own, to really question if you are going in the direction that you want to be going in. And could you be doing more? But at the same time, it's like they're talking about taking rest or a break. So it's very conflicting. But yeah, so we've also got Pluto. We have Cronus. We have the number 7, trine, and then midheaven and ascendant. So give me 1 second. I designed these dice, right? But like, I also, okay, Eris. This is Eris. Got it. I haven't used them in so long that I kind of forgot what some of the meanings are. So we have Eris here, and Pluto, and Mars. Wow. Okay, very interesting. You guys have a very intense energy. Some people could probably consider it piercing. And again, it's like there's this aspect of you that it's like making me think of that detective example again, right? It's because you guys are also really good observers. And I think that's what, because the Emperor essentially is a ruler, but the Emperor, the type of energy that the Emperor gives me is somebody who watches and then takes action. At least that's the healthier aspect of the Emperor. Or playing into ego, the Emperor, because remember we did mention ego at some point. Playing into ego, the Emperor can also be somebody who is dominating and controlling, right? Who controls other people's lives or aspects of other people's lives. Or they'll be like, you're not doing it right, do it this way, you know? As opposed to like just watching how somebody is doing it and being like, well, okay, you know, watching how somebody is doing it, and until they ask for help, not giving their input or advice, right? You guys have a very strong, like, regardless of your gender, it's like the masculine energy that's coming through. Maybe you guys are just in that phase of your life where you're more in your masculine energy. But I'm also seeing, what's it called? Because we have Pluto and Eris, and then oh yes, we talked about Cronus, right? Cronus is literally authority. So again, it's like there is this aspect of you guys where there is some, like, there is power. You guys have power, right? But again, maybe this person that you guys are encountering is meant to, because we mentioned the ego once we started talking about this person, right? So maybe this person is going to help kind of bring into balance more this aspect with your ego, possibly, you know? Because ego can also be the thing that's like, no, this is how things are done and that's it. You know what I mean? It's like that stubbornness. I'm like getting this stubborn energy. It's like, even if you guys are right, it doesn't mean that everything has to be done that way. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, yes, I'm getting that stubbornness now. Yeah. So for some of you guys, I think because this is a general reading, you guys could all be on like slightly different versions of the journey, you know, so some of you guys could have already started moving past the ego. Some of you guys, I think it's still kind of there, whether it's hidden or not, but it's like this stubbornness, because you guys have a very authoritative presence and energy. You know, it's like when you say something, it's like, okay, people are listening to you. It's almost like a father figure kind of telling you something. And if you guys are not doing it, if you guys are coming from like that ego place, it's almost like a father scolding you kind of a vibe, you know? So, or again, depending on how far, it could be a father watching how you're doing, and then if you need help, stepping in, kind of a thing. You know, if you need help, if somebody asks for help, then you step in. So it's like two different aspects. So, and again, it's like this connection. There's like the shattering here, right, that we mentioned, like change. So this kind of internal change, which is going to help bring things into balance a little bit more. So I do think that maybe for a couple of you guys, there may be a little tiny bit of a thing with the ego, okay? It's a bit like pride a little bit too, you know, like pride, ego, and like we were mentioning, like the book Smart, just because, okay, let's say eating 2,000 calories a day is not going to help you lose weight as much as eating 1,500 calories a day, right? That's just the way it is. If you want, this is literally just an example, you guys. Okay, this is the way that they brought it up to me, so that's what I'm saying. So if you want to lose weight, you've got to stop eating the regular amount of calories and lessen the intake of calories. That's like proven, right? That is fact. But, and so like that could be the way that you approach things, you know, it's like, this is the truth. This is how it works. This is the only way. This is the solution. This is how you're going to lose the weight, you know, if somebody's asking you for advice or whatever, or if somebody's like bringing it up. But sometimes our body is in stressful situations that makes us retain weight, or that makes it start working slower because it's on fight or flight, you know, it feels threatened, even if it's not actually in danger, but maybe the environment can be chaotic around or stressful. And so everything in the body tightens up and you retain weight, right? And so even eating 1,500 calories, even though you could be losing weight with that, it's just not as much weight as you could be losing if you were in a better environment. So sometimes, and maybe like if that person then moved, they could just start dropping the weight right away because like their body starts working more normally because it's not under constant stress. You know what I mean? It's like the whole point of this example is like, say like I'm just going to say you guys because we're talking about this kind of energy, right? But like if you guys were set on, this is the only way to lose weight, it's like exercise and lowering your calorie intake. Like, and like preaching that, you know, and like affirming it because you literally read about it, you researched it, like this is the truth, this is fact, you know. You don't have to approach it with so much stubbornness because there's so many other alternatives. There's so many other ways of things going about and happening, right? And the alternative here ended up being that this person didn't even have to go exercise. They didn't have to lessen their calories. They just needed to be removed from a stressful situation, and now their body is working good and like regulating itself. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of stubbornness. So do with that what you will, okay? I also feel like there is some kind of tension for you guys. Libido wise, okay? So I think that maybe if you guys can find a way to release that, whether it's through exercise or whatever else that could be, you know, I think it can help you guys calm down this sternness too, okay? So that is for some of you guys. All right, well, and for some of you guys, maybe that could be through this other person, okay? So I don't know. But with the trine here, it is talking about things coming into balance, right? Things are coming into balance. You even have temperance here talking about that too. And you have midheaven and descendant. This is the way that we come across. So I feel like you guys are heading towards getting some barriers removed, whether you realized you guys had barriers or not. Okay, it just seems like it's time for a couple of things, for a little bit of a I don't want to say a change in perspective, but yeah, it almost seems like, remember I was saying it's like there's like this protection or barrier. You guys are protected, but like a bit of a wall. And I think that a couple of layers of that very thick wall are not necessarily necessary for this next portion of your life, or moving forward, or to get you to that thing that you guys are driven towards, right? And so I think that you guys are coming into a place where you can start, you know, shedding that barrier. And maybe it could have been another person that caused it to get so muddled or strong, that kind of self-protective, hard to read kind of presence or barrier, right? But yeah, group 2, that was your reading. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I'm sorry for the way that it chaotically happened. I guess it happened the way that it was meant to happen. It was a little confusing for me too. If it was confusing for you, it was the same for me. And I'm sorry that it wasn't as clear. You know, usually I can at least pick up and talk about things, but I just felt like there were certain things I wasn't allowed to talk about in your reading. Like if I looked at a card and I would get an impression or an energetic feel, it's like it would be taken away right away. So I think it's because you guys are coming to a place where you're, I don't know, whether it's to protect the outcome or, yeah, like there's it's something that's going to be working itself out. So I don't think it's something you guys have to worry about. You know, I feel like you guys are already on that path. So that was your reading, group 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, hopefully it gave you some clarity or answers or insight, you know, on something that maybe you didn't realize or didn't necessarily want to look at. You know, I would appreciate, you know, if you did happen to enjoy the video, if you would give it a thumbs up. Also, if you guys are open to talking about, you know, what some of these things could be, or these revelations, or, you know, if you have an idea of what these barriers could be coming from, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Sometimes it takes me some time to respond, but I do try to respond to every comment. Also, if you guys are interested in other kind of content that I post, hopefully next time it will be something more tangible with words, you know, like more, I guess for lack of a better word, again, structured or more detailed. Feel free to, you know, subscribe to the channel. It would really be supporting and helping out the channel if you subscribe to the channel. I can talk. It's too early for me, you guys. But yeah, it would really help the channel if you guys supported it in that way. Oh, also, actually, before your reading ends, I just realized we have the Hermit here. Oh, and the Knight of Cups again. Oh my goodness. And the 7 of Wands. What the actual heck? And the Fool. Okay, I'm done pulling after the Fool. But y'all, okay. Your reading is over, right? But now we're getting some validation because I forgot to look at the bottoms of the decks here. But the fact that you have the Fool, and this is hilarious to me. Okay, the Hermit was actually something that I saw while I first started shuffling. This is about insight, deep reflection, and looking into dark corners that only you can look into. No one else can trespass or go into this area of your life, which I think is why I wasn't allowed to talk about it. Only you guys can go there and kind of give the clarity that you need. We also have the Knight of Cups again, which is talking about that kind of connection, right, that we mentioned. We also have the 7 of Wands, which is that protection and that barrier and that kind of like, I'm not, you know, that wall that we were talking about. And then we have the Fool, which is this new beginning that is more uninhibited, right? So I think that is so beautiful because that literally talks about all of that. Then we have the Ace of Cups. This is a new emotional beginning. And again, there's like this aspect of connecting, because water is more feminine. So this aspect of connecting to this feminine energy, to the emotions on a deeper level, because you guys are letting something go. And then we also have the Magician on the bottom here. Oh, wow, and you guys even have reconcile. It's like making peace with the past. It's making peace with the past so that you can go on this new adventure, or this new connection, or this new communication, right? And then we also have the Magician, which this is such a beautiful card, in my personal opinion. Not the concept of the Magician, but like this actual card itself, which is a master of all the elements. It's like you guys have all of these tools within you. It's just about you guys utilizing or accessing them, you know? But I think that there was some kind of incident that happened with this Three of Swords, like whether it was somebody else that hurt you or something, you know, that kind of caused you guys to put up these barriers, that if you want to get to the place that you're trying to get to, right, this drive that we were talking about, this like direction, you're going to have to drop a couple of these boundaries, a couple of these barriers, okay? There's no other way of getting there. Oh yeah, it's kind of like what I was, so your reading just became longer, but it's kind of like what I was mentioning with that example with the calories, right? It's like you guys are approaching it from this logical perspective, right? That's a little rigid because you're only keeping it in that perspective. This is the only way that you can see how it would work. But if you kind of loosen up on that, right? Just like we were talking about, like this kind of ego loosening up a little bit, all of this stuff, right? And this connection can help with that. Like this soulmate connection can help with that. It's like saying, you know, there's a bunch of ways, like 1,000 ways that you can climb up a hill. You guys have chosen the most difficult one because of the stubbornness, or like one of the more difficult ones. And if you kind of surrender, it's like God would show you another path that gets you there quicker, faster, and easier. But you guys are a little set on like, this is how it has to be. This is how I have to work towards it. This is how I have to earn it. This is how I, you know. And I think that's why they're talking about like lessening that ego. We do have Leo influence here in Cancer as well, with the Strength and the Moon. So we have Sun and Moon energy. Well, this isn't the Sun card, but Leo is the Sun, and it's the heart, right? And it's kind of like reconnecting with this, with your heart. And it's funny that we do have like that Leo energy, right? Because Leo is a fixed sign. So it's like, okay, that maybe you thought you got better at the stubbornness, but maybe there are still aspects of your life that like, it's almost like, you know, instead of you walking freely when something doesn't go the right way, it's like as if you're a bull that just kind of puts its hooves, I guess, in the ground and is resisting as somebody is like pulling you forward. So you're still going to be moving forward. It's just going to take a lot longer for you to get to where you're supposed to get to, because you're set on doing it in a specific way. So I feel like it's like a little bit rigid. So I think this is where that is coming into. They're like talking about losing the rigidity or rigidness. Okay. All right. Now that was the end of your reading, group 2. But yes, also for those of you guys, sorry, it's like completely out of order and out of structure, right? Which is what we were talking about, like that chaos aspect, that doing things that are kind of uprooting, but it's okay because it's a good thing, you know, in this case. But yeah, so if you guys are interested in a personal private reading or a custom crystal bracelet, this is one of the ones that I have. I actually have been wearing this one a lot more, but I've got a bunch of different examples on my website if you want to check them out. And those are just examples too. There are a lot more that I've had. You know, I've never really had to make a duplicate unless it was requested. Or if you'd like a custom affirmation song, you guys can reach out to me on my, I can speak. My email or the contacts page on my website. That's it. And yeah, also I'm trying to be more active on Instagram, you guys, and posting more content for you, though it may not always be tarot related. It's more like advice and other kind of things. So if you guys wanted to give me a follow there so we can connect through that, that would be, like, my handle is NutAeum. It's also in the description box below. But yes, without further ado, that is it for your reading, group 3. Okay, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments again, and if you liked the video, please click like. I would really appreciate it, and I'd appreciate if you guys subscribe to the channel. You obviously don't have to, but it would be great to help support the channel. But yeah, I'm sending you guys lots of love, okay? Lots of light. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm sorry again for the chaos of this reading. But yeah, group three, oh my goodness, group 2. This is I haven't called you guys group 3, but in my head, I accidentally called you group 3 a couple of times. So maybe for a few of you guys, if you felt drawn to group 3, you can watch group 3 too, okay? But yeah, bye group 2. I hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time. Hey group 3, this is your group if you chose this nope heart. I don't know if you can, there it is, there you go, nope. I'm gonna set your little pin to the side and I'm gonna ring the singing bowl for you guys really quick. Okay. Something that I got while I was shuffling your cards, you guys, a couple of things actually. One of them is a song, okay? It's called Scared of Love by Ali Gadi. So that song was like playing in my head. That, and I also got Fear of Commitment. I feel like you guys may be getting I don't know what your reading is gonna look like, but I did get some kind of things when it comes to your love life. Also, while I was shuffling, I accidentally called you guys group 2. And I accidentally called group 2 group 3. So if you guys felt drawn to watch group 2 as well, this is your sign to possibly go see that too. All right, yeah, and I kind of feel like I think if you guys stay tuned towards closer to the end, I'm gonna read the lyrics from that song, maybe some of them, so that you guys know what that song is about. You could also look it up if you want to. That's why I'm gonna stick to keeping it at the end. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get into your cards, you guys, and then I'll incorporate the message that I got about love as well. Okay. Then we've got we've got the Empress. Okay. There you go. You guys got the most cards of any group so far. We have the 9 of Swords, the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Swords. Oh my goodness. And on the back of the deck, we actually have the King of Swords. And then it's the 6 of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, which I think actually goes really well. And I'll talk about it later. We also have the 6 of Cups. So cute. Okay. Then we have the Queen of Cups, the King of Pentacles. Oh wow, a lot of people. We have the Tower. Okay, it's funny because a couple of these cards came out in group 2 as well. We have the 6 of Pentacles, the Star, the 8 of Pentacles. Also, these have like gold foils. I don't know if you can see the gold or not. I don't know if you saw it on the Star too. There is a little outline of a lady there. We also have Ladybug. This is a time of good fortune and abundance, so be willing to receive all good things in your life. Okay, let me just bring these up a little more before we keep going with your reading, just so you guys can see everything. We also have Goose. Take time to rest and recuperate rather than continuing your striving. Interesting. And that's so funny because when I just saw this Ladybug card, what it actually made me think of, there's this movie called Under the Tuscan Sun, and funnily enough, this character who's like, you know, living life to the fullest and whatnot, gives the main character advice, right? Because the main character, she's like, you're like a black hole, you know? She's like, you're so desperate, basically, and like sad, you know? And she's like, you need to go have fun. You need to, you know, she's also insinuating like, get a man, get laid. And the girl's like, I'm trying. And she told her the story. She was like, when she was younger, she used to try to catch ladybugs, right? But she could never find any. And then one day she decided to just give up, and she fell asleep. Oh, I'm getting chills. She like fell asleep in a field, and she woke up and she was covered in ladybugs. Oh, I got even more chills. So I thought of that the moment I saw this ladybug, and I was going to tell you that story anyway. But then I saw the goose, which says take time to rest and recuperate rather than continuing your striving. And that's exactly what that story is talking about. So I think that's, oh my goodness, so many chills. Goodness, like, wow. Okay, we're going to talk about it once I reveal the rest. Then we've got strength. Yeah, you guys have a couple of cards that are similar to the last group. We have the 10th house, the new moon, Lilith, ooh, tree, heart, mice, coffin. I hope I have room for everything. The earth. Here, I'll just shift things over a little bit. 1 second, my friends. Capricorn. This has come out in every single group so far. What the actual heck? And I'm really shuffling, you guys. Like, I'm legit shuffling. And this time, it didn't even fall out. I pulled it out when everything was face down. After shuffling, I pulled it out. So, Capricorn, again. Ow, what is that? There's something flying. Sorry, you guys. That freaked me out a little. Okay. Then we have, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. We have convey. Okay. Give me 1 sec. Let me just see if I can make room for more. Can you guys see the bottom? Well, it's not going to be even. Sorry, but there we go. This way you guys will be able to see everything. Okay. So convey. And then we have obstacle. Okay. All right, yes, so there definitely is that message of love that we were talking about. Now let's get into it. Let me tell you what I saw about love for you guys, okay? So it's supposed to be what you guys aren't seeing, so I think it's just the universe is trying to give you guys a little bit of perspective, all right? You guys have done a lot of growth, a lot of healing, okay? And I think you guys have definitely been hurt in the past, and that's okay. That's life, right? Unfortunately, that's something that we all experience, but there's beauty in it too. Once you can forgive the situation, right? And go through the healing and really let it go, you'll start to see where the beauty comes in it, the lessons that have come from it, not just the lessons that come from pain and hurt, but other lessons that we got from that situation, you know, other things that were cultivated in us that are for the benefit of us in that situation, right? So oh, and I just smelled, oh my goodness. I don't know why, but I'm going to say it. I smell a toasted bagel with butter, like melted butter. Wow. I feel the butter in the back of my throat. Oh my goodness. So if anyone perchance is eating that or thinking about it, please let me know in the comments. I'll live vicariously through you in regards to that. But yeah, so I feel like you guys, there is this fear of love. There's a desire for it, but then there's also kind of like an ego around it that's kind of a, you know, I've been waiting for so long, I'm going to go live my life, you know, but it's not like a genuine, I'm going to just enjoy my life, you know, because when you say something peacefully, you know that you're genuinely meaning it. If you say something a little defensively or like insistently, then it's most likely meaning that there is some healing behind it, or there is a little bit of either a tinge of resentment or something that it's like you're doing it, but there is still a part of you that, you know, in your heart of hearts desires the other thing. You know what I mean? So like if you were saying, I'm just going to take this time, like to heal for me because I deserve it. And I don't need a relationship with someone right now because I'm actually having fun with myself. You know, like I'm finally having fun with myself. If you say it like that, that's one thing. If you say, I don't need a man, I don't need a woman, you know, I can just live my life. Who am I waiting for? I'm going to go live my life. You know, you're saying a little bit more aggressively, persistently. It's like almost as though you had the thought and you're convincing yourself, which means that you're not 100% in that exact mindset on a subconscious level. Okay. So I do feel like there is a bit of a fear of love here. There is a bit of a fear of commitment. I think you guys are a little afraid of being hurt. I think there is also some kind of connection. Like maybe if for those of you who are already interacting with somebody, but you guys aren't exactly in an actual relationship just yet, I think an obstacle for you guys, which is funny that obstacle came through, right? And then we have convey, which is literally about communication. And I think it's kind of great and hilarious. But I think an obstacle for you guys is that you are looking for love that is open-hearted and all of this stuff, but you're approaching it with a closed heart because you're scared, right? It's like you guys keep comparing, like you see, because sometimes we can experience betrayal, right? Sometimes we are given red flags or signals that we ignored or didn't pay attention to, right? And sometimes those signals are not necessarily red flags, but now they have been marked as red flags in your mind. And then when you come across a healthier person that is doing those things, because those things were not necessarily red flags, right? But you guys are now basing it off of your past experiences. So it becomes like a red flag for you guys. I feel like that's the dynamic that I saw while I was shuffling the cards, and that's what I'm kind of getting again. It's like you guys are trying to be very protective of yourself, which completely makes sense. And you're scared of making the wrong choice. There is a fear of commitment here because there is a fear of there is an aspect of like, I don't, again, like that fear of commitment, I think also comes into with the fear of love, right? It's almost like just because you desire something and you really want it doesn't mean that when you're facing it in the eye, you're actually going to go grab it, you know? And that's what it looks like. It's like if you had a real, genuine opportunity to have a connection with somebody in the past, you guys would not have taken it. Not really. You might have not have been interested in that person, or you would have been like, oh, why is it that all the people I like don't like me back, but the people who like me, I don't like, you know? And it's like, because on some level, you were not in the place to be able to kind of handle a healthy relationship dynamic, right? Because there was this fear of love. It could be coming from an abandonment wound as well, you know what I mean? And so instead of putting yourself out there and getting rejected and all of this stuff, you keep attracting people who perpetuate that wound, that self-belief, that limiting self-belief, right? On a subconscious level, you attract people who are going to continue to be unavailable, whether they're actually in a relationship, long distance, emotionally unavailable. On some level, there's always going to be something that makes it a not good fit or easy to leave, right? Even if it feels hard for you to leave, but there's always like an out. And then you can say, well, this person was emotionally unavailable, so of course I had to leave, you know? So it feels like, but if there was somebody that was healthy, that was checking other boxes and stuff like that, I think the fear of settling down, of making that choice and sticking with it, of worrying that you made the wrong choice, that kind of thing comes in as a little bit of a self-sabotage. Or it may be considered boring, you know? But you shouldn't be looking necessarily for passion from the moment that you meet somebody. It's not about feeling passion, right? Because if it becomes too sexual, or if it's about sexual stuff or infatuation from the beginning, it's not necessarily a healthy start to a connection. That's the thing that the connection is now going off of. Yes, those things can develop, right? There's no such thing as something fits all kind of a statement, right? But most of the time, those kinds of connections develop in that type of way, right? And I feel like the person that you guys are encountering, this person is safe. They've got fears and hurt of their own, you know, but I think they're coming through strong, like, and interested and unwavering. Like, I think they're willing to take the chance, you know? So for those of you guys who don't necessarily have somebody in mind or somebody that you're encountering, this could be somebody that you encounter soon. And, you know, if not, then maybe this isn't your group, because this definitely feels more, or this could just be talking about like something that you can focus on healing, you know, until the right person comes along in general, right? To bring that awareness sooner to you. But it's like you guys have done so much work to like cultivate your heart, and like you've done your own version of healing, right? And like nurturing, self-nurturing, like working on your self-worth, what you deserve, what you don't deserve, kind of thing. But you guys have been doing that on your own, right? You're used to doing it on your own. So as much as you may dream about that perfect person coming to you, you know, or you're like, there's somebody that I am completely meant for in this world. But then you encounter somebody and you're like, that's not that person, but you still feel drawn to them. But like you now feel conflicted because you're getting into a relationship possibly, or the idea of a relationship with somebody when you are energetically in a relationship with someone you've never met yet. You know what I mean? It's like, I think you understand that it's kind of, it can be a little silly, but again, it's like the heart wants what the heart wants. What our inner child clings on to things that it knows. And it's like, that's another way of keeping yourself unavailable. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't wait for the perfect person for you to feel like you can open up to people. Because the only way that you're going to meet this perfect person is if you start doing the opening up to people. You know what I mean? It's like waiting for somebody to activate certain parts of you, right? But it's like, you guys are your own activator. If you're waiting for somebody else, you're giving them the power, that kind of power, when all of that power is really within you, you know? So don't wait for somebody to come into your life, or like the one to come into your life for you to be able to start opening your heart to love. It's because you start opening your heart to love now that this person comes in. And don't think about this person when you're getting into connections with somebody else that you feel drawn to. You know? We all have a way that we're going to get somewhere. Everyone's got their own path. And sometimes that path can be a connection with somebody, because maybe whatever it is that you learn with this person could be the thing that leads you to the person, you know? Or the universe could be confusing you. And by the way, don't apply this with toxic traits and toxic situations, okay? Not at all. We don't stand for that here. It's not about you trying to make somebody fit this description, okay? It's not about looking for somebody who's literally toxic and then trying to be like, maybe the universe is tricking me. But because we do have the 7 of Swords here, okay? And so if somebody is giving you toxic traits, the universe is not tricking you. Like, no tolerance for that, okay? And I'm talking like toxic traits, like the way that they talk to you, the way that you observe them talking to other people, all of this stuff. You know, everyone has faults and all of this. You know, it's human nature to have some kind of an error or like something that you can work on in your life. But when it comes to like really truly being toxic, you guys, none of that, okay? But I feel like one of the things that can happen sometimes is the universe may hold back something until you pass the test and you try to kind of go into it, and then it will reveal things. Like, just, this is literally an example, okay? I'm not saying this is what's the case for you guys, but it's just an example. So say, for example, there's somebody that you kind of are interested in, but you don't feel that spark, you don't feel that passion. you know, but you guys feel safe and you guys keep being drawn to each other. And you're like, well, you know what? They're not the one, so I don't know if it makes sense to get in the connection with this person. I don't want to hurt them, blah, 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 because, you know, when the one comes around, I would be with the one, not this person, okay? So there's this whole dynamic going on, right, in the head. But the universe could also be, like, that person, even though you didn't feel like they could be the one, right? But you feel comfortable around them, you feel drawn to them. The universe can be holding back that, like, knowing from you that this person is the one. It can be giving you all the signs to be like, they're not, you know, but we want you to keep moving forward with this person, right? By giving you answers whenever you ask questions, like this person just randomly appears, or you keep hearing information about whatever it is. You know, the universe keeps giving you signs like that, you know, we like you walking towards this person, you know? And you guys naturally kind of feel drawn to each other anyway. But again, it's like you don't feel that feeling, like, I don't feel like this is the one. Well, maybe part of the test is you guys, instead of just waiting for the one, which is actually you really perpetuating that solitude, right? It's you perpetuating that isolation, that reserve, that waiting for somebody else to activate or unlock you, right? So maybe instead of you guys waiting for the one, you decide, like, you know what? I'm going to see where this goes. I'm living my life now, not for what can be happening in the future or what will be happening in the future, you know? And then once you guys actually get into a connection with this person, like if you decide to do that, right? Say you're like passing a test, then the universe gives you all of those emotions. Like it stops withholding information and it kind of lets it all in. And you're like, holy moly, guacamole, this was the one. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying try to make people fit into this description. That's why I was giving huge disclaimers. This is just an example. But it's like you have to take the risk. You guys have to take the risk in order for you to possibly get this kind of an outcome. You want to get to the one, you have to take the risk in love. I'm not saying go on speed dating or, you know, like go on apps looking for people. But if you start to feel a connection or a draw to somebody, you know, and this person makes you feel comfortable, like you actually wouldn't mind approaching them, even if it's something silly, there's nothing wrong with you guys trying, right? Or because I just feel like a lot of conflict, a lot of push and pull, and then maybe seeing something that this person does and it reminding you of somebody from the past who messed with you or like who was like tricking you. But the difference is when that person in the past was doing those things, right away it felt uncomfortable. But when this person that we're talking about here is doing these things, you're okay. But afterwards, when you start getting in your head and thinking about what happened earlier, you become uncomfortable, right? And you start thinking about that stuff. So, yes, there's a bit of that aspect going on there. All right, you guys. I also think it's so interesting because I do feel like we're talking about a connection here. And I feel like whoever this person is, you guys signed up. You guys signed up to interact with each other, to come across each other at this point in your life. Okay? And I feel like the feminine energy in the connection here is more nurturing. You know, there's more aspect of emotions, like this beautiful water energy. It is more feminine. The masculine energies, there's more groundedness. There's more earthiness. There's more like this is how, like, I don't know. I'm sorry, cards. It's not, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of firm, you know, like a rock. But the Queen of Swords, again, it's like those boundaries, you know, this Queen of Swords, the hurt, the part of you that's trying to protect yourself. Look, because you guys are really the Empress. You guys have done a lot of work on yourselves. You guys are ready to take a chance. You're ready to take a leap, but there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of distress here because it's tied with these boundaries, with this past. And these boundaries are very carefully watching over the interaction between this Queen of Cups and this King of Pentacles, you know? Like very carefully to be like, I'm ready to cut it out anytime it needs to be cut out. Get in the middle, you know? So I think it's kind of like, it's good to take care of yourself and to watch out for yourself, but try to see where you are limiting yourself through this belief, through this mindset, okay? And again, it's not me talking about toxic people. I'm talking about somebody that when you're around them, you feel comfortable, okay? You don't look at them and you think, oh, I want to get in their pants right away, like from the beginning. Like, you may find them attractive, but ultimately it's just kind of like a wow, like a little bit of a recognition or like comfort, you know, like a soul friend, a soul family. Then we have the Six of Pentacles and the Tower. Like, this person, again, it comes into trust, right? Because it's like when you're around them, you feel the stability. They keep showing you. Maybe other people in the past, you know. And again, I feel like you guys attracting this person is also a mark of your growth. It's a mark of how far you've come. And now this person is going to be a test to see if you're ready for the next step, an actual connection, an actual relationship that is healthy, you know, not just the idea of one or not just attracting one, right? So I feel like this person, it's an equal give and take with you guys. You know, it is equal. And I think it is unexpected. And it is something that I feel you guys won't necessarily feel like you always have control over, and that's okay, because you don't always have control over every aspect of your life. That's the beauty of living. It's a surprise, right? Those surprises are what makes life exciting. I feel like your dreams, it's like God is trying to make your dreams come true. Okay? But they're saying, though you deserve this unconditionally, we want you to work for it. Because we know that you deserve it, but we want you to show yourself that you deserve this, right? Because right now, it's kind of like you're walking, like you're just talking the talk, right? By saying, I deserve love, all this stuff kind of thing. Well, now that you're going to be getting an opportunity of experiencing it, you're going to be showing yourself that you truly deserve it by letting it in, right? It's like you're talking the talk. Now we're giving you this example because we know that you deserve it. But it's time for you to walk the walk. You got to put in the work. You got to try, strive. Even if you're not confident, even if you feel scared, you know, even if you see something in this person, like maybe for a moment you saw something and you're like, oh, this person kind of is a little possessive or territorial, and you're like, oh my goodness, they're going to try to control my life, they're going to try to blah 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 blah, you know, and like going at 100 miles an hour or more than that, even your mind, you know. And it's like, whoa, calm down. Why do you think that? You know what I mean? Everything else that they've shown you is good. Everyone has a little vice. And again, I'm not saying go for toxic people. I'm saying you feel safe and secure around them. And the way that they treat you, see the way that they treat you. The way that they treat you could be completely different than the way that they talk to other people. You know what I mean? Again, I'm saying be cautious of actual toxic traits, you know, but this person is not actually toxic. It's just everyone has their vices, right? Somebody may have kind of a thing with an ego. Somebody may have this, and it's like through the connection you guys grow and learn together. It doesn't have to be full of drama or whatever. But yes, sorry guys, I keep checking the time because I actually I have to prepare for a client very soon. So but yes, and then we've also got tree, heart, mice, and coffin. So with these guys, it's like with the tree, it does feel like this is a bit of a soul connection, right? It's a soul connection. And this is something that's meant to heal a root cause of things in your life, a root cause of trauma, right? And then we have heart, and it's like we want you to genuinely trust your heart, like where it's guiding you, where it's leading you, how you feel. And I feel like both of you guys, because we also have coffin here, right? And this mice card is a little weird, but both mice are looking at each other, and both mice have this skull present around them, right? With growths and stuff. And then you have the coffin, which is talking about an end, a death. And I feel like both of you guys have experienced hurt. Both of you guys have experienced pain. It's just maybe you guys handle it a little differently. But this person is taking the risk by coming forward and telling you, like, hey, I'm interested, right? It feels like the masculine is maybe they're not saying it specifically or directly to make sure that the feminine feels comfortable, and this is regardless of genders, BT dubs. But it feels like the masculine is the one that's more like, hey, I'm actually interested in you, you know, like they're showing the feminine energy that. And the feminine energy is the one who feels a little flip-floppy. Both of them have something that they've got to overcome in this connection. For the masculine, it feels like emotional vulnerability, to be completely honest with you. And then for the feminine, it feels like trust. Both aspects talk about trust, right? Or commitment, yeah. Because both aspects talk about trust, right? Emotional vulnerability takes trust. Commitment, trust, right? It's just, you guys are both learning to trust in slightly different aspects of your life. Okay? Because yeah, you see, like this, the feminine is more emotionally vulnerable because of the water, but the masculine is more practical, so not as emotionally kind of in touch. 1 second, guys. Okay. Then we've got Ladybug and Goose. And again, I feel like these cards are talking about surrender. You guys, don't try to make something happen. Don't try to force things. And don't try to force things away either, okay? So it's like, don't go looking for somebody to like do this test of love with. But when somebody does come along, don't try to force them away. You know, it's about surrender. Just keep bringing it back to surrender, because you guys are like the Empress, you know, there's this aspect. Oh, that is so funny. Oh, wow, what the heck? There's a new group or dynamic of people who have started watching this channel, because I've noticed in the last 2 readings, I'm seeing similarities, okay? In the last reading, there was a group where there was an emperor, and there was a group where there was an empress energies, whatever. And I was like, oh, you guys could be cross-watching or counterparts or whatever. And then we've got an empress here. And in the last group, because I remember I kept saying, for those of you who are drawn, you guys, don't try to make it fit, okay? To group 2, the emperor came out in group 2. So that is so funny. I feel like the dynamic of who started watching the channel has kind of shifted. Or like there are new people, you know. But yes, anyway, back to the reading. So yes, I do feel like there's this aspect of surrender, you know, and both of these animals or creatures, right? Ladybug, goose, they both fly. And actually there was something flying that I got freaked out about, right? So, surrender can be scary. That freedom can be scary because you don't know what's going to happen, right? Stepping outside when you've been living indoors all your life, even though you've been wanting fresh air all of this time, and finally stepping outside, it can be scary because it's new, because it's different, because you're not used to it, right? Yeah. So it's okay that it's scary. When it gets scary, remind yourself who you are, right? How far you've come. Take a few deep breaths and then take a step forward. And then it gets scary again, and then do the same thing again. Take a few deep breaths, take another step forward. And even if that's the only way that you can keep moving forward for some time, that's okay. Because you know what? You're still moving forward. Okay, you guys? Then we have 10th house, new moon, and Lilith. Yeah, I feel like this is like, there's also an aspect of you guys stepping further into like your light. This is like you, like literally, this is literally you walking the walk that I mentioned earlier, right? It's like the advice that you give other people, all of this stuff, it's like you guys are putting it into practice yourself now in the truest, most vulnerable way that you can, which is in a connection with somebody, or opening, even if there's nobody yet, it's like actually opening yourself up to the concept of love, you know? Because maybe, again, love was like a fantasy, but were you actually really open to it? Because I don't think you guys were. You can fantasize about something and say you want it, all that you want, but that doesn't mean that you are actually open to genuinely receiving it, because it's been in your head for so long that you're okay with entertaining a fantasy. But when you're faced with it in reality, when you're faced with somebody else coming into your world, into your little bubble, right? That your sacred bubble where you have healed, like you've done this healing, this protection, this like this self-care, you thrive in this little bubble, you know, but somebody else coming in, adding their energy to the mix. You're afraid it can cause chaos. You're afraid it can make you lose your progress, you know, make you lose this structure, right? Or this yeah, just progress yourself, you know. So yeah, it's time to kind of evaluate that a little bit, you know, and to give in. Like maybe you guys are worried about making something a little bit more sensual or something along those lines, but it's like, no, give in. You can give in when you feel safe. You can have a sexual experience with someone even if they're not the one, if you feel safe with them. And even if it's just energetic or something, it's like this vulnerability, this, do you feel safe with this person? Have they shown you that they are safe? Do you guys have some kind of a connection, a bond, or a draw to each other? It's okay for you. It's okay for you to explore those kinds of things. You know, to feel safe to explore those kinds of things if this person continues to show you like, hey, I'm safe, you know. And if the only fear that you're getting is the fear that you have once you start overthinking after you're away from them. You know what I mean? Give me 1 second, you guys. 1 second, y'all. Sorry if you guys hear the music too. They're playing music pretty loudly upstairs. Yeah, sorry you guys. But yeah, you see, even with the new moon, right? This is a new beginning. And the new moon is when you manifest the thing that you want. So it's like a new beginning in something that you actually want. Right? It's like I was mentioning, like your dreams are coming true. Your dreams are, God is trying to answer your prayers. God is trying to answer your dreams, but you've just got to show God and the universe, like, I actually am ready to receive those things, right? And then with Lilith, that was that, like, aspect that we talked about, that sexual energy, you know? Like, if you guys were so into, like, the relationship must be pure, and yes, it must. It must. And sexual energy can sometimes taint things, for sure. And if you start off on a sexual note, you're not necessarily, most of the time, starting out on the right note, right? That's going to be kind of a long-term soul connection type of thing, past passion. But again, if it's somebody that you feel safe with, if it's somebody that the draw was not initially sexual energy, it is okay for you guys to explore that part too. It's not taboo. It's not dark. It's not bad. And it doesn't taint things. With the right person, it can actually be a good thing, okay? And it can help you realize more about yourself. So, again, do with that as you will, okay? And then with Earth and Capricorn, there's so much Capricorn energy kind of coming through in this reading in general. I don't know why. I wonder, hold on. There's supposed to be like a new moon, I think. An actual new moon. A full moon. Oh, you guys, it's a full moon today, the day that the day that I'm filming, which is Monday. I was a little late with the filming with you guys, but Monday, July 3rd, it is a full moon in Capricorn until tomorrow. That is so wild. Oh my goodness. How incredible. That is hilarious. Okay, I'm like, there's so much Capricorn energy coming through. And I guess it's actually because I was like, are they talking about Capricorn season? That's so far out. Why is everybody's stuff happening at Capricorn season? And it's like, no, this is probably like going on a little bit more immediately since Capricorn full moon is going on right now. But wow. Yeah. And just a little reminder, keep coming back to the present, you guys, if you start getting overwhelmed. Keep coming back to the present, keep working on surrender. And now let me, for those of you who wanted to read the lyrics for the song. So it says, I know you don't believe in love, but do you believe in me? Am I asking for too much when I ask you to believe? I know you're scared of love, but you ain't scared of me. Oh, yeah, exactly. That is exactly what I was saying. Yes. Right? It's like you may be afraid of love, but when you're around this person, you can feel safe, right? I'll heal your wounds. I'll be right there to hold you when you feel blue. When the night turns dark, I'll shine on you. Girl, I'll ride for you. I'll right those wrongs with you. I'll make sure that I do. When you feel pain, yeah, I feel it too. Matter of fact, I feel everything you're going through. I know those demons on your mind got you fighting all the time, but I tell you I'll be there protecting you. And all the stuff, there's a bunch of other stuff, but I don't think I'm gonna read the whole song. I think you guys can check it out. I like this song. It's on my Spotify, so you guys can check it out. Oh, and then another part that I will read, which is, it's a repeat of the chorus, right? I know you're scared of love, but you ain't scared of me. I know that you won't open up, 'cause love always makes you bleed. I've been right there before. I know those scars take time to heal. I know you're scared of love, but you ain't scared of me. Okay, yeah. So again, that song is called Scared of Love by Ali Gadi. And yeah, I feel like it kind of goes really well with the reading. So thank you, universe, for placing that in my, because literally it was just playing in my head the whole time. I was like, okay, so this is gonna be about love. And I thought it was funny because you guys chose a heart and it said nope. And I was like, that actually kind of goes with the pin even, It's kind of like, nope, no to love, even if you actually want it. So yeah, hopefully this gave you guys a little bit more clarity, a little bit more to think about, right? It's time to put all of your practice to the test, right? And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed your reading group 3. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Did you find it insightful, or was this something you guys were already aware of, or or if you guys just wanted to say, I am committing to blah, 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 you just wanted to put that out there, you can put that in the comments too. Also, if you guys like this video, I appreciate if you give it a thumbs up. I don't know if I said that already, but I'm starting to space a little. And if you guys enjoy my content, I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel, as it does support the channel. And if you guys are up for it also, I do have an Instagram that I'm trying to be more active on, or I'm pursuing to be more active on. And it's basically all content for you guys, really. So if you guys are interested, my handle is NutAeum, so it's also in the description box below, along with my email and my website, which you can reach out to me if you are interested in in a private personal reading, or a custom crystal bracelet, or an affirmation song, or something of the sort. But yeah, that was it for you guys. I hope you enjoyed. Bye, group 3. I'm sending you guys lots of love, okay? Lots of light. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Hey, group 4. This is your group if you chose the Still Awake pin. Very cute, very cute. I don't know if you can... There it is. There we go. So cute. I'm going to set your pin to the side, you guys. I just finished shuffling your cards. And I will ring the singing bowl for you. Also, before we even get into your cards, right, I just want to talk about, I want to show you guys a couple of the cards from the bottom of the deck, okay? You guys got the Empress twice on the bottom. So you've got one Empress, and y'all, this is a new deck, but look at how beautiful this Empress card is. This is the Spacious? Oh my goodness, this is the second time I'm forgetting the name of this deck. Okay, yes, the Spacious Tarot. Okay, I'm thinking of doing a full, like a walkthrough of this deck on the channel if you guys are interested. Obviously, it wouldn't replace like a weekly tarot video. It would just be, an additional video. So let me know if you guys would like to see that. But look how beautiful it is. Oh, it's so pretty. And it encompasses the Empress, I think, so well, because this deck is all There's no people, it's just backgrounds and like scenarios. So kind of encompasses the idea of the Empress very, very well. But yes, and then you have the Empress here. You also have the King of Pentacles underneath here. Okay. Now let us unveil your cards and see what is it that you may not be seeing. Okay. We've got the Ten of Pentacles. Okie dokie. We have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Wands. Ooh, 2 8s. The Sun. You guys, that is so funny, right? Because one of the decks I was shuffling, not this one, but one of the decks I was shuffling, I saw the sun peek through, and I was like, oh, that would be so funny if the sun comes out. And I think the sun came out in that one too, but it's funny to see the sun here as well. The reason I think it's funny is because you guys chose this pin that says still awake, and it's like the nighttime and the moon is out, and we've got the sun here, and it's like, what are you guys not seeing? The sun? No, that's funny. Maybe for some of you guys, maybe you guys stay up a little too late. I mean, I get everybody has their own creative process, but we've got the Explorer of Pentacles, which is the Knight of Pentacles. We also have the Six of Pentacles. Were those the cards that came out in the last group? I don't remember. I mean, I remember the Six of Pentacles. I don't remember the Explorer. Okay. We have the Knight of Wands. Ooh, 2 knights. You see the gold there. Oh, and there it is. This is the sun card I was talking about. So it's funny. You guys have 2 sun cards. Then we have Seagull. Now is the time for deep emotional healing. Oh my. I'm just going to move everything up a little bit more just to be sure that you guys can actually see everything. Oh, sorry, you guys. I'm a little tired. I had to film. Well, I started filming this, and then I had a client in between, and right after the client, I went back to filming because I'm on a bit of a time crunch, so I'm a bit tired now. We've got the Cheetah, which says, get clear on your intentions, stay focused, and move quickly to achieve your goal. Okay, then we have Contrast. Interesting. That's cool. And Gemini, Pluto, Key, Fox, Saturn. This is so funny, you guys. The reason this is so funny is because from this deck, the Capricorn card came out for the other 3 groups. And I made a comment on it in the last group. I'm like, why on earth is this coming out? And then I realized that today, the day that I am filming, because I was like, why does this keep coming out? And I was wondering if there was like some kind of I was like, no way are they talking about Capricorn season. Then I was like, actually, what if there's some kind of like a moon, something with moon in Capricorn? So I was like, let me check the moon. And today the moon is in Capricorn, and it's a full moon in Capricorn. And I was like, oh my goodness. But anyway, all that to say, Saturn, it's funny. I made such a big comment. I was like, why does Capricorn keep going? So instead of getting Capricorn, you guys got Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn. So I think that's kind of funny. Then we have the going this way is full, which means this is waxing, the waxing crescent. And we also have, is it horologium with time. And Pavo with awaken. I was laughing because there's this kids cartoon that I watch, okay? Though unpopular opinion, ever since it got purchased by another company with ears, you know, I feel like they kind of ruined it a little bit. But before it was purchased, before it became such a big franchise and whatever, it's this kid show, right? It's like Miraculous Ladybug or something. And when I saw time, for whatever reason, I just heard time to de-evilize, which is something that the main character says when she takes the evil out of people. Anyway, or like the evil influence out of people. But yes, give me a second, you guys, to see what I'm getting here. I feel like you guys are somebody that makes, like, the fact that I'm talking to you guys, so like, I mean, I always kind of share a little bit here and there, but I feel like I'm getting a little extra sherry with you guys. So I feel like whoever you guys are, we would probably get along. So hello, friend. I feel like you guys would be able to put up with different kinds of crazy antics. Because you guys can be kind of, well, I don't want to say crazy, but like silly antics, because you guys can be kind of silly yourselves at times. You know what's funny? I feel like you guys can, you know what it is? It's almost like, you know when you're tired, right? And you're like coming home and you're so tired, like you were at an event or whatever, somebody's wedding, and you come home and you're so tired, or like when you're a kid and this happens, and you're like so tired, you're like falling asleep at the wedding, and then you come home and it's like you're so tired you can't even get out of the car. You know, your parents carry you into the apartment or house or whatever. The moment you get into the house, it's like you just, boom, burst of energy, just so much energy that you're like, oh my goodness, I am on a high, running back and forth, staying up till 3-4 o'clock in the morning, you know. Oh, and then we also have still awake. Yeah, that kind of like buzz, you know. So it's almost kind of like, that's what I'm getting from you guys. Like you guys will be tired and then you just get this buzz when it's time for you guys to actually be sleeping. You're like, no, I'm home now, I'm energized, I'm like jittery, blah, 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 blah. I don't even need coffee, you know. Yeah, but anyway, what I'm seeing for you guys, what you guys are not seeing. What is group 4 not seeing? Give me one more second here, you guys. This is so, I don't know what it is about today. You guys and group 2, okay? Group 2, for whatever reason, I mean, I got the message, I guess, more so towards the end, but I was having a hard time trying to kind of pinpoint exactly what I was feeling and sensing for group 2. It was a little hard to kind of get for them. And I feel like for you guys, it is a little bit like that too. Maybe it's a me thing. Maybe today is just not the day for me. Maybe I chose a not so great time to film. Well, you know what? I am actually filming during the full moon, you know? I'm not even talking about the day. I mean, like the time that they say the moon is going to be full. Like I've been filming since that time. So, or around that time. So I think that's kind of interesting. But, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys. All that being said, just give me another moment. I don't know what it is, you guys. I don't want to blame things on astrological placements, you know. Oh, Mercury is in retrograde, so, you know. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. I haven't been checking, but give me a second. Okay. Part of the message that I'm getting here is like, you guys are moving forward, right? You guys are moving forward, even if it can feel a little slow or fast sometimes, you guys keep moving forward. And I think one of the things that is coming through here is you guys stopping to relish in your successes, right? So stopping to enjoy, stopping to play. Forward movement is great, but if you just keep climbing uphill just so you can get to a destination, right? You kind of spend your whole life trying to get to a destination. You know the saying, like, smell the flowers, right? That's kind of, I feel like, what's coming through here too. And I don't think it's that you guys don't know how to have fun. That's not it at all. I just think that there's a little bit of a need for you guys to kind of have fun, because you do have you know, there's this aspect to you, like this solar energy. You do have 2 sun cards, right? Sun is Leo energy, but it's just, there is this solar energy, like this brightness to you, and it's time for you guys to kind of utilize it. And with so much sun energy, it's like kids, right? So it's like letting your inner child come out and play a little bit. You guys have been doing good with making progress, moving forward. I feel like you guys have moved away from home, whether that's because you guys are going to school, or you moved to another country or another state or another city, or you guys are just trying new things for yourself, or you're in the same city and stuff, but you kind of moved out of the house. Or you're emotionally preparing yourself to kind of separate from your family, because it feels like you guys are kind of moving forward, right? From that, there's just a lot of forward movement. So even if it's some days when you're tired, so you go a little slower, then you're moving forward. Some days when you're anxious, and so you go a little faster, and it becomes a little counterproductive because you burn yourself out, and then you need rest, and things aren't working out because you need to give yourself the rest that you need to recover so that you can make things keep going. You're still making forward progress, right? But it's like part of this progress, it's more of like a progress for your life, not just like a career or something, right? Part of this growth, part of this progress is kind of coming to terms with the fact that you probably need a lot more fun in your life than you actually are currently incorporating. And I don't know where you guys are in the world at the moment, right? Because like in America, or not in America, that's something I never understood, to be completely honest with you, why people call the US America. I get that it's the United States of America, but America, or the Americas, those are continents. So, and if you're talking about North America, then why isn't Canada incorporated in that? That was something I never understood. I never understood why it was just called America as opposed to like the US, So I try to call it the US because I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me. It's the United States of America, We're not America. Like, we are a component of America, of North America. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I completely lost track of what I was trying to say. Okay, it'll come to me. Give me a second. But I guess that's kind of the point. Maybe it's time for you guys to just relish. Oh, yes, we were talking about the hemispheres. In the northern hemisphere, it's summertime. In the southern hemisphere, I know that it's winter, but it kind of feels like, let this be a summer period in your life. It's time to have fun. It's time to go out and play. It's time to have some kind of joy. You're doing good. You're doing good with making progress at school or with work or whatever it is that you're trying to work towards, and like this kind of independence and healing and doing good things for yourself. You guys are doing good. Even if it's slow, it's still progress. A step forward is a step forward. It doesn't matter how long it took you to get there, okay? Some people don't even budge. Some people don't even try to move. So you guys are doing really, really good. It's time for you to go have fun. And now some of you may be thinking, well, I've only been doing good for like 2 weeks or like 3 weeks. Is it really time to have fun, And it's like, yes, it is. Because if you're trying to make this a lifestyle change, if you're trying to incorporate this in a new way of being, right, then it's about finding that balance. It shouldn't be play. I guess it could be, everyone has their own flow, but ideally, if you're looking for a kind of balance that's a little bit less intense, we could say, right? It wouldn't be like play for a month and then work for like 6 months and then go play for another whole month. Some people may like that, but I think it could be better for your body because if you're doing this for life, right, it's like do this and then have some time to play, and then do this and have some time to play, and then you can find a full vacation and all of this stuff, or some time when, because things are always going to be fluctuating. So sometimes you actually have to spend all this extra time on doing the stuff that you're working on. But if you can find a time to play too, that is good. It's about balance. It's creating this balance. It's time to go have fun, go laugh. Like I'm looking at this Roadrunner card and it says, keep your sense of humor and don't take things so seriously. Again, it's like, it's good that you guys are taking these parts of your life seriously and that you're moving forward and you're doing so because you're trying to grow, and it's all good things for you. It really is. But so is having fun and laughing. And this is part of, I feel like you guys have this cheery nature. You know, maybe it's like back in your childhood, and it's like, come back to that. You know, for some of you guys, it's back in childhood. For some of you guys, it's something that maybe you guys thought, I need to grow up or be a little bit more mature. It's like, no. I mean, yes, be mature, but like, who says that growing up means you leave behind this like kid that lives inside of you, you know? This child lives within us for the rest of our lives. Let it go out and play, right? Sometimes taking a break is the most productive thing that you can do, even if you've only been working for 3 weeks. Sometimes, especially if you've only been working for 3 weeks, it's good to take a break and then get back on track. It's also you showing yourself that you can keep moving forward, that you're not going to fall off track just because you go and have some fun. You know, fun is not going to distract or disrupt you guys doing something to feel good and happy and positive. Like I'm seeing literally being out in the sunlight. Okay. Like actually get some dopamine just from being out in sunlight. Okay. Get some vitamin D. It will be good for you. Okay. And then we have contrast. Yeah. Oh, that actually, and Gemini perfectly describes the same thing, right? It's that duality. The contrast, I think that is so funny, right? It's like somebody who's starving and then somebody who's full, right? It's like we were talking about those extremes, right? Going from one end to the other, like with Gemini too, right? And I think that's why they're emphasizing again. It's like, try not to do the extremes. Try to find a balance. And yes, it's going to be hard to live your life in complete harmony and perfect balance, but I think you guys are being advised to try to go more towards balance, okay? Like, you can't keep balance forever. It's always going to be tipping, right? It's not about keeping the scales at 50-50 all the time. Balancing is literally just like once you start noticing a scale going down or up a little too much, you bring the other one in, you know? It's always going to be swinging slightly. It's just you're balancing out how far it swings, right? And how quickly. So yes. Let me see what else I'm getting here, because this doesn't really seem like, I mean, I guess this could be a message of something that you're not seeing. Oh, I guess it is. Yeah, right? It's kind of like that insight or that clarity that you can have fun and it's okay. And it's part of forward movement too. And it's actually necessary. Okay. Hold on. Let me see what else I'm getting. Yeah, because you know what? The Six of Pentacles is also talking about, you guys have a lot of duality aspects here. Contrast, Gemini. The Six of Pentacles, literally 2 nests and 6 coins, right? It's up to you how you're going to divide it. Are you going to put 5 coins in one nest and 1 coin in another one? Or you can do an equal give and take here, you know, or like an, it's not give and take, sorry, but an equal like 3 and 3. You know what I mean? It's about finding that balance. What works best for you and how can you nurture both aspects of your life? Because you guys are coming into a different phase, a different era of your life. You don't have to do extremes anymore. Okay? You don't have to do extremes anymore. Oh my gosh. I kind of feel like somebody is talking through me, and give me a second. Yeah, because I feel like with the way that you guys are going, it can lead to a certain amount of pressure, or it can continue to perpetuate this pressure. And the issue then becomes pressure can lead to a breaking point, or it can lead to hasty decisions at some point, right? Because it's kind of like somebody who, instead of every once in a while giving them the treat that they're craving, giving themselves the treat that they're craving, they deny themselves super strictly. And then they have a day where they completely binge and just eat everything, right? Or you could try to be more, you know, disciplined with how you eat. And then once a week, kind of incorporate a day when you can have like 3 meals, or like you can incorporate 3 meals of the things that you want to eat that you like in a week, right? And you can like mix and match where you kind of sprinkle them in. Or it could be like breakfast and dinner are going to be healthy, or like lunch and dinner are going to be healthy, and breakfast can be a donut. You know what I mean? Let's see what else I'm getting here. Yeah, because remember how I was talking about like pressure and like possibly leading to burnout or snapping? And so the fact that you guys have now is the time for deep emotional healing. I think that you guys bringing in that balance, right, and letting that inner child come to life again and like have fun and play. Because even in healing, right, some people feel like they need to keep moving forward. They need to keep doing more, always doing more, always doing more. There's always going to be something to work on. And you continue, and you know, healing is a life's journey, and there's always going to be something, right? But you continuing to be like, well, I still have to do this. Well, I still have to do this. Well, still this needs to get done in regards to the healing journey is not helping you to actually heal. All it's doing is putting pressure on you. And on some level, it's like you saying you're not enough. You know, what you're doing is not enough. What you've got is not enough. And it's always going to be enough until one day you say, you know what, this is good. I'm satisfied with this. Do I want more? Sure. But what I've got, or like, not do I want more, but would more be nice? Sure. But what I've got, I'm happy with. Right? It's kind of like how they say, if you want something, be grateful for the stuff that you have so that you can bring in that thing. Right? Because if you focus on the lack of having it, lack of being at the destination, lack of, you know, insert here, whatever word, what you're actually doing is perpetuating the lack because you're trying to fill a lack. So that means the whole time that you're filling a lack, there is a lack, right? Wow, you say that word, you say lack long enough and it starts to sound kind of weird. But yeah, so I feel like the real healing is coming from you guys getting this balance. You guys saying, you know what? I'm going to stop to smell the roses. I'm going to stop to enjoy my success. Because if you're always going to be striving to keep moving forward and upwards, you're saying what you have is not enough. You are not enough exactly as you are. That's why it's important to have these little breaks so that you can remind your inner child, like, hey, we're doing good, kid. Let's keep, you know, let's enjoy what we've got so far. Right? Otherwise, what's the point? It's almost like the whole goal is to keep making money, but you never spend the money. So it's like, what is the point of you having this money? You know, if you keep moving forward, that's great. It's good to move forward. But if you never stop to relish in the fact, like to relish in how far you've come, what is the point of you moving forward? Because you can't even see it. You don't feel it or anything because you just keep moving forward. Right? And even though the cheetah is talking about like moving quickly, right, after you're clear on your intentions and you focus, something that I think is interesting, right, even though the cheetah is one of the fastest land animals on Earth, it has a short stamina. So it can't really maintain that speed for too long, right? So it's like, that's why there's a need to concentrate, to focus, to assess, to evaluate. Is this actually going to be worth it? So I feel like it's kind of the same thing for you. It's the same reason why you guys have got to take breaks, why you guys have got to stop every 3 weeks or so. You know, you thinking that you can keep pushing like some people do for years. Those people, they develop health problems sometimes they get other issues, they lack in other aspects of their life, right? Because they over prioritize this kind of work or whatever it is that you guys are striving towards. So even if they got there quicker, it's because they gave up everything else. And giving up everything else is only going to cause burnout for you guys. I think it will cause sadness or kind of a depression. You guys are not meant to do that, okay? It's not part of your path, not part of your purpose or the way that you're supposed to go about this. That's why I think they're saying like you need to take that break every 3 weeks so that you can kind of stay focused, see what's going on, see your surroundings, regain the energy, and then keep moving forward, okay? Sorry guys, I'm going to take a sip of water. Give me a sec. Okay, let us see what else I can see. Oi. Okay. Yeah, because you know what? Honestly, this kind of plays a little bit into self-worth. And you guys have been on a journey of, I feel like whether you were conscious of it or not, you have been on a journey of self-worth. And the next step in that journey is getting that balance between those two aspects of your life. Saying you deserve to enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? You deserve to enjoy your successes. You deserve to enjoy your progress. Because progress alone is a success. Progress alone is a victory, okay? A step forward is a victory because it is a step forward. You know what I mean? And then with the key and the fox... yeah, it's like coming to a little bit of a blank again. Not with the key and the I just mean in general, like my brain, my mind is coming to a pause. Pause. Or pause like cats have. And cheetahs, which funnily enough, did you know that cheetahs meow? It's very cute. But yes, we'll get back to this. But time and awaken, I feel like with this is actually just talking about everything that we were mentioning. It's like time for you to kind of wake up a little bit and realize like, hey, like it's almost like when you keep moving forward, it's like you're in a bit of a trance, you know? You kind of keep moving forward. So every once in a while, it's like they shake you up and they're like, wake up, you know? Look at the flowers, look around you, have some fresh air before you keep moving forward, you know? And then waxing crescent. Yeah, it's like you guys are still on the journey, you know? So don't think about trying to get there quicker. It's going to take however much of a time it's supposed to take. That's just part of your journey. That's part of your life's plan. And that's kind of how things work. You know what I mean? It's what makes life interesting. If you just got everything instantly, especially anything worth having, how are you going to value it? It's about the effort that you put forward, right? So it's going to take a little bit of time because you have time, and then Saturn actually rules time as well. So yes, the journey that you're on it's going to take some time. But that is all the more reason why they're asking you to pace yourself. You know, they're saying instead of like what we were talking about, getting burnt out, like some people, because that's not going to work for you. You guys are not going to thrive on burnt out energy, okay? It's like pacing yourself. Do 3 weeks of work, rest a week. Do 3 weeks of work, rest a week. Pace yourself. You're still making progress. You're still going to get there the time that you're supposed to get there, because that's already been pre-planned, okay? How you're going to get there, or like when you're going to get there, right? So they're saying like, make sure you keep it lighthearted and take it easy on yourself. Be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. One more thing. Let me see. What are you saying to me, little fox? Also has paws. I don't know why the graduation song just came to mind. It's so weird. Oh, there, dogs also have paws. I don't know why I'm pointing out all of this stuff. I'm sorry, you guys. Oh, gosh. Okay. You know what? I feel like this fox is actually talking about you guys being more active at night. Because look, they've got a fish. They went hunting. The sun has gone down. You guys chose still awake. You have 2 sun cards. So I feel, you know how everybody has their own like creative process, right? And creative times. And there's like this whole thing where it talks about like, everybody has different times of days that they tap into like their flow state kind of thing. some people it's like really early morning, some people it's the afternoon, the evening. For you guys it feels like it's the nighttime, because I'm getting like this wired energy at night. So I feel like you guys could have active minds, and you guys can also have, I feel like when you do have dreams, they could be really interesting too. There's something else. I feel like honestly you guys could even be a bit telepathic. Like you guys can pick up people's thoughts. Okay, it's giving off the kind of energy of like an air, either an air moon sign, like if your moon sign is an air, or in an air house. So that would be the 3rd house, the 7th house, or the 11th house in your astrology chart. But yeah, it's kind of giving that vibe, like either an air moon or something like that. So that also, for those of you who don't know, that would be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. But yeah, it's like there's this kind of activity. It's a slight restlessness, you know, when there's overactivity in the mind. And I think that's why they're also saying it's important to smell the flowers here too, because it's going to help you guys get the rest that you need as well, right? It's kind of like grounding, like going out, smelling the flower. Like actually, like I keep saying it, but I actually mean it, like going out into nature, taking a walk, enjoying the flowers, little birds, whatever. It's going to ground you guys so that you can calm down your mind, right? Okay, let's get our final message here. We've got the moon. Hold on a second. Okay, we have in conjunct Eros, the number 6, the sun, again, the sun. And I think this is Zeus. Give me 1 second, let me check. And we have the ascendant. 1 second, you guys. I have a little cheat. I mean, I designed the dice, but I also haven't used them in a while. So a couple of them, I'm like, I don't remember what you are. Oh, okay. Vulcanus. Rapid expansion, purifying fire. Fire. There's more fire energy. Again, that passion, that joy kind of thing. Like joy, excitement. And sorry you guys, with the rapid expansion. Wow, I'm super like tired during your reading, and it's funny that we're talking about being wired and all of this stuff. You know, something that I feel the need to bring up to you guys, which I think maybe could be useful for a couple of you guys. Something that I talk about with other reader friends, right? Because when you do a lot of readings in a row, there's this kind of high or buzz that you experience because you're channeling. You're connecting with like divine energy. And then that everybody reacts to it differently. Some people get extra loopy, you know what I mean? But the point is, it's like in that state, when you're doing readings, you get energized, you feel driven, you're doing the stuff. Because that energy is coming from divine, right? Divine energy doesn't burn out. It's just a bright light that is constantly bright light. That's it. That's just all it is, constantly, okay? A human vessel that is tapping into that energy may think, I'm feeling energized. But it's like, even like that light is never going to dwindle. That light is never going away because it's literally light from divine, right? It's not that person's, it's divine's light. So that light is not going anywhere. And because you keep tapping into it, you're like, oh, I have all this energy. But it's like the physical body is like, not really. I'm kind of tired, you know? And then it hits you. Like you just get really tired because you thought you were energized because you weren't feeling tired because you were tapping into this other energy this whole time. But it wasn't your energy. Your physical body, the human body, gets tired, you know? So I kind of feel like that's the thing with you guys too. It's like you guys need to make time for your body to get the rest that it needs. You may feel energized. You guys may have an inner strength that's coming from somewhere else. But that doesn't mean that even if your mind is still active and like all of this stuff, that your body doesn't actually need the rest. You know, you need rest from progress too, from forward movement. So I do feel like they're touching on that. Yeah, even with Eros it has to do with like, there is an eroticism to it, you know. It's like romantic love, but really for me, what I'm seeing here, it's not so much romantic love as it is like you guys kind of living with passion, living with joy, right? Kind of feels, it's like passion, you know, living passionately. Like even the sun card, it's happily, it's excited, you know, it's like, oh my goodness, yay, I get to walk in nature. Look at the flowers. Oh, they smell so good. Look at the birds. They're so cute. Oh my goodness, they're singing. They're washing each other. It's so cute. You know, like that kind of thing. It doesn't feel romantic. It feels more like finding the romanticism and like the joy and the beauty in life again and continuing to tap into that. So I feel like there's a bit of advice there. Then we've got 6, which is tied to the 6th house, and that's associated with Virgo. So I do feel like it is talking about, again, work ethic, right? Yeah, so it keeps touching on that. And then we've also got the moon, which is the subconscious mind. And it is just the actual mind and emotions and stuff as well. So I do feel like maybe you guys could write. Like maybe you guys could try writing or something, maybe journaling, something for you guys to get those kinds of things out of your mind so you can jot it out and release that kind of energy somewhere too. Okay? And then in conjunction, yeah, it's like it's showing me you guys are still trying to kind of navigate or find the balance. So if you're going to be strict on anything, let it be being strict on getting this balance in tune for yourself, okay? Not about you guys making sure you go to the gym every single day. You can't miss a day. You can't. It's just not possible, you know? Well, but it makes me feel good. I can't miss a day. Like, I understand. But at the same time, if your body is tired, even if the gym makes you feel good, I think getting rest would make your body feel even better. You know what I mean? So I think it's kind of like coming to terms with also not coming to terms, but making those kinds of little adjustments, like really trying to tune in again to you. And yeah, that's mainly what I'm getting for you guys. So yeah, group 4, that was your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully we were able to come to a conclusion that made sense to you guys at the end of it all. Yeah, sorry about the brain fog. I had the same thing happen during group 2, and I felt bad about it, you know, because I was like, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like wasting time trying to figure out what I'm seeing, but you know, I guess everything happens the way it's gotta happen. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up. I'd also like to hear from you guys in the comments. You know, do you find that you do this kind of a thing? Are you actively working on trying to kind of have more fun or, you know, get this balance? Are you proud of yourself? Because you should be. You should be proud of yourself. Even if you did good for just 3 days, you guys should be proud of yourself, you know? Also, what's it called? Yeah, I'm like completely sorry, guys. I myself actually last night just so happened to not get enough sleep because I was tired, but I had so much stuff to do because I'm going away that I didn't get a chance to do most of those things. So I ended up not sleeping. There was a whole thing, whatever. But yeah, so it's like hitting me now. But yeah, oh, I remember now. If you guys are looking forward or would like to see more content from me that is more energized and not so sleepy, feel free to subscribe to my channel too. It would be a really great support to the channel and it would help the channel out a lot. Also, if you guys are interested in a personal private reading or a custom crystal bracelet or even an affirmation song that is custom to you, you can reach out to me through the email or the website links in the description box below. You can, on my website, it's through the contacts page. And yeah, you guys, that's basically it. That's the whole spiel. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Okay, I'm sending you guys lots of love, lots of light. And group 4, I am looking forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye, you guys. Have a good one.